whatnot. So the second movie did expand on that a lot, and well, not a lot, but I mean, it just enough to give you ideas what they've been up to.
Predator 2 also gave us, the Scorpio. Because the Scorpio is ready.
The Scorpio is ready. And then he fucking snorts a comical mountain of cocaine. Like a comical amount of cocaine. And like he comes running out of the building, like his face is just covered in cocaine.
Gary Busey was like over there, like, this isn't real cocaine.
He was a consultant as to how much cocaine a human being can snort without dying.
Yeah, that looks about right.
That looks like a Saturday night for me, man.
Blackout and shout! Ow!
Welcome. You have now tuned in to the Blackout and Shout podcast with your host, Mike Kincaid.
Can I tell you that Baby Yoda just annoys the shit out of me?
That's because you haven't watched The Mandalorian.
Oh, look at Baby Yoda, so cute.
Levy Curry.
Some people do all sorts of crazy stuff, like dinosaur romance novels. Those are really a thing. Taken by the T-Rex. A billionaire dinosaur forced me. Ravaged by the raptors.
I wonder if there's audiobooks of them.
And Jed Vargo.
He was always like well known for wearing the Nazi outfit on.
Captain Kangaroo?
Captain Kangaroo.
Didn't he have the...
No. And he did not dress up as a Nazi either.
So sit back. Mike, are you... Listen to me. Relax. Say, transform and roll out. And enjoy the show.
Welcome to the 145th episode of the Blackout and Shout podcast.
Sorry. You said 140 fit.
You there, Jed? Oh, you're right, man. Here we go again. Here we go again.
Continue.
When did you bitch about your internet?
4 hours ago.
Whatever plan they put you on, what they did? They told you some shit. It's kind of like, remember when you would be setting up to play in the bar, Jed, and they would tell you you were too loud, and you went over and you acted like you were turning your volume knob down, but you weren't really doing shit, and they would go, yeah, it sounds... You called them bitch, and they unplugged you, and then they just plugged you right back in the same shit you were in.
Just restart your phone real quick. You'll be good.
Anyways, 145th episode of the Blackout and Shout podcast. I'm your host, Mike Kincaid. And to my digital left side, ladies and gentlemen, Jed Vargo. What's up, Jed?
Good evening.
How are you doing? I'm doing all right, man. How about you?
Tired. It's been a long week.
Yeah, busy. Same. Yep, same. Yep.
Busy.
I hear you. And on my digital right, ladies and gentlemen, back from his one episode vacation, Mr. Levy Curry. What's going on, Levy?
How you guys doing?
Doing all right?
Did you guys miss me last time?
We missed you, so we had to get 2 people to take your spot.
Oh.
It's a bummer that your app is going to clear out that pause, because that was a good uncomfortable silence. All right, so let's go around the horn with calls, shout outs, and plugs, and we will start this time with you, Jed.
All right, let's see. Let me bring up my list. Where's that? There it is. So I got the Deformation Space Blaster. I don't think I mentioned that last time. I think I got that.
I don't think you had it yet.
Got that. It's pretty cool. I dig it. Yeah, that's right. I got it right after the show. I got it the Saturday afterward because I remember I went and replied to John on Facebook on Saturday. It's cool. I like it.
Yep.
I got the Gigapower, Grimlock, and Slag Dinobots.
Do you have all of them yet?
No, I was going for the Chrome versions, like the shiny ones, versus the original. So I have the what's Snarl's name? Is it
Gutter? Is he Gutter? Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's Gutter. I got him and Grimlock and Slag, and then TCP canceled the. Wait, is it Slag? No, I got Sludge. That's what I got. Grimlock, Sludge, and Snarl, and they canceled Slag, and I still have Swoop ordered, so I'll have 4 out of 5.
Wait, what do you mean they canceled it on you?
They weren't getting any.
They did. Oh, they're not getting any?
I pre-ordered
that's
it
weird.
last year, I think. Yeah, last year, like a long time ago, when they announced all of them.
I wonder how that happens.
I guess maybe they're not making them, or I don't know.
Oh, that'd be a bummer.
Yeah. So, but we'll see. I'll eventually get that one then. I like those. Those are quality.
What are you doing with your Dinobot display? Like you got like Fans Toys in robot mode and those guys in dinosaur mode, or the other way around?
Well, the original idea was that I was going to get these Gigapower and see what kind of quality they were, if I liked them or not. Mm-hmm. And then I was going to cash in on the Fans Toys one when they were going for like $800 a pop. But
yeah, but then they re-released everything.
Yeah, they're not anymore. So now I gotta kind of like put them right next to each other and see which one looks better in Dino mode. So, and then
I'll tell you what, it's a tough choice, man, because Brother Kyle had his here, and it's they're both so good, both versions of the ones that he brought, and compared to the ones that I had.
Yeah. So I'll look at them like side by side, and then I'll just put one in robot mode, keep the other one in Dino mode, alt mode. Let's see. So I got those guys. Fuck you, John Daly. And shout out to Hidden Toys. Doors, I got all of his art these past 2 weeks, and he has 14 art pieces that are up on the site now, and Etsy and all the other spots like Facebook and Instagram and stuff where you can purchase it. So Doors is now part of the Hidden Toys artist group club.
I saw a couple of the ones that he did, and they were pretty cool. I saw the Starscream one. Mm-hmm. Kind of had a old school G1 Batman type of thing, like with the I don't know, the sound effect as the name. Right.
Yeah. I like the Mysterio one. That was my favorite, I think. That
one's a good one too, nice. Yeah.
And what was the other one that he did that was really cool? I'm trying to think like right off the top of my head so I don't have to look. It was the besides the Devastator and the Starscream ones with the words on it. The Stunticons one. Is that it? Yeah, where they're all like in a line coming at you in alt mode, and Cybertron is up in the background of it. Mm-hmm. That's another one I like of his that he did. They're all good. So he's up on the site. Check him out. HiddenToys.net. And that's it. That's all I got. Word.
Levy.
Yeah.
What about you?
What are we doing? Halls. I
got bronchitis.
Yeah, I got a disease. Yeah. Lung disease. Bronchitis. Had it for a few days now. It's been pretty rough actually. I've been at home for 4 days now, and it's been tough to breathe. Actually, I haven't felt this sick since I had COVID. So actually, it felt very reminiscent of COVID too, because it was a little difficult for me to catch my breath there for a little bit. So,
Yeah, I mean, they tested you, right?
Actually, I took an at-home test and it came back negative. And my doctor for AIDS, yes, I took an AIDS test. It was negative, thankfully.
Good. Good.
Imagine Levy's the first person in humankind history to get AIDS from masturbating.
You shared a needle.
Wow. Anyway,
at least the thing I brought up, Levy, was something that you actually do.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even sew, so
Heroin.
Yeah. I do heroin. I chase the dragon because I play Dungeons and Dragons. So
Oh man.
But
yeah.
What?
I said, oh yeah.
Yeah. So I got a disease, and then I got a new PC case, which is pretty sweet looking. It's the Height Y60. It's got a 3 glass panel, 3/4 view. Looks really nice. Did you see the pictures of it yet, Mike? I know Jed has.
Yeah, I have. Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet looking. Jed was nice enough to make a Devastator wallpaper for me because my lighting theme is green and purple, and I decided to call this PC Devastator. So because all the cool kids name their computers now.
Oh, they do.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna fuck with you, Levy. My computer is named Teletran 1. Like if you look in the
really?
Yeah, if you look in the whatever users and all that shit.
Oh, I don't have any. Mine's like AMD quads.
Jez's computer's name is Bob.
His computer's name is Ryzen. Ryzen 5. So I got that. Actually, the reason I got the new case is because I actually bought a new AIO cooler, an all-in-one liquid cooler for my CPU with a 200 with a 280 millimeter radiator.
Mm-hmm.
And I checked the specs on my original case to make sure that it fit, and it said it was compatible. This model of cooler was compatible with it. But when I got it, my intention was to mount it on top, right, as an to exhaust air out the top.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't fit on the top, and I guess when they were talking about compatibility, I guess it meant that it would fit in the front. I didn't want to put it in the front, so then I'm like, well, shit, and so I decided to get this new case to accommodate the new cooler. So, which is fine.
Exactly what I had to. Is exactly what I had to do. Same story.
Oh.
I had mine,
yes.
I was kind of hanging out the front and shit, like not even screwed in. And I was like,
"Oh, really?
Yeah, I better get a new case."
Wow. Yeah. But
I distinctly remember you saying that you weren't going to get it. That you thought the fan was going to be.
Well, it was for a time, but I decided I wanted to get a different cooler because I just I thought I could probably get better cooling on my CPU than what the Wraith Prism was doing for me.
Are you overclocking?
No, not yet. I'm probably going to get around to it, but what was I saying now? Yeah, it works out too because actually I'm building a PC for a coworker, and I'm just gonna end up using the old case for them, sell it to them. So it all worked out. And then what else? Oh, I also got new desktop speakers with a sub for my PC. Which is nice because I never had speakers before. I always just used the headphones. So, and they weren't expensive. They were like $40 on Amazon, and they're pretty good quality. So, pretty good sound quality. I don't remember the brand. I see a logo there, but I don't know what it means.
JBL maybe?
No. No. I don't know the brand. It's
got a 412 kicker.
What's that?
I see you got a 412 kicker box under the desk.
I don't know what that means, but I got a sub. So
back in the 90s, whenever we had their 212 kicker boxes in the back, so hatchbacks, the two big speakers in the back with a clear case.
Oh, okay.
So you bounce quarters off the hood.
Yeah. I don't think I got anything in the way of figures. So I think that's it. No shout outs or nothing. Nobody. Fuck them all. Yeah.
How about you?
How you doing, Mike?
Whoa! I'm doing all right.
Stereo.
Yeah, man. It was a busy week, like Jed said.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't really have a whole lot in the way of shout outs or plugs at the moment. Hauls. I got Lion-O. I got the Super 7 Lion-O. So now I think I'm caught up to everybody because I don't think the Wave 2, I don't think that one came out yet. That's the one with like Chitara and Slithe and 2 other people that I can't remember. But yeah, I'm digging that. I'm digging that line a bunch. I also got the blaster, the Deformation Space blaster. And I agree with Jed. It's pretty solid. I didn't transform. Did you transform yours yet, Jed?
No, I don't transform my figure.
No. I don't transform yours.
I have people that do that.
Yes. I don't know.
Transform this blaster for me. Smooth.
Transform this blaster so I can get to reading the books.
I have to read the manual. Yes.
Yeah, he's really solid though, man. I dig it. You know what? I kind of dig the way that he did, and they're probably just doing this for transformation purposes, which I'll find out when I actually transform it. But the way that they did his like hips, where you could have him a certain way when he's like standing, and then if you want to put him in any kind of like dynamic poses, you kind of like can drop the hips down a little bit to get him like more range, which I thought was kind of clever. If they did it just for articulation, if it's part of the transformation, it is what it is. But I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, man, they build a solid unit, man.
They
really do so far.
There's another figure that does that too, isn't? That wasn't the Megatron, was it? The was it 36? Is that right?
The MP Megatron.
Did his hips do that too?
You know what, man? It's been a while since I messed with it.
There's a figure out there that does the same thing. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
I know that the Hot Toys Iron Man does that, so that when you move the legs and stuff, you don't scratch up anything on the armor.
Yeah, it actually took me
there's something else.
It took me a minute when I was messing with it, because I went to like move his legs and I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, you can't even move them, you know? I knew there had to be some sort of trick to it. Let's see, what else did I get? And I also, so just today I got, I got the Arc. I got the Arc upgrade kit, which was like filling the back of the legs and actual articulated hands, which is awesome because did you ever see the hands on the Arc? Like the original hands?
No.
The only pose that they're capable of, all the fingers are open, like they're straight, you know, with a little tiny bit of curve. And they all go in one piece. All the fingers are connected. And then the thumb is also straight, no joints except like at the base. So that just goes in and out. So the only thing that you can do besides just open hand is like the Italian hand, you know, like that's a spicy meatball hand, you know what I mean?
Ready to shake.
Yeah, right. But so I put that on, so that's cool. And also today I just got the Fans Toys Cerebros, and he's really good all the way around. Not having transformed him yet. And
I know he transforms into the head, but he has the headmaster, right?
Yeah, he has a headmaster too, yeah. Spike.
Right. Cool.
That headmaster is Spike.
Spike, that's right.
Yep.
Spike.
I think that's all I got this week. Yeah, I think that's all I got this week.
I was going to ask because we didn't. But are you going to do the Dungeons and Dragons shirt, or do I have to run with it myself?
Oh no! I wasn't completely sure if it was a goof or not. But if you're serious, I'll do that for you. Yeah.
What shirt?
Yeah, it's a pretty niche crowd that you're shooting for, but I'm sure
very
very specific.
Yeah, Dungeons and Dungeons and Dragons. Is that something that Brother Kyle suggested?
Yes,
I think I remember seeing something about that. Okay.
Yeah.
You're shooting from like the Philly D&D crowd,
right? Exactly.
The Philly D&D crowd.
Not saying they're not out there.
That's
probably in hiding.
Oh, dude, that's where we should do an alternate Jed, where it's like Dungeons and Dragons, and underneath it says "Go Bards."
Go Bards.
You might actually do some business with those shirts whenever you go down to the NJCC, Mike.
Oh, RetroCon would be another one.
Man. Or anything in this area. Yeah, you make a killing.
Yeah. Because sometimes the like, it's weird, man. When you do like a general design, like it's got to fucking kick ass in order to sell. But if you do something kind of nichey, like somebody's gonna see that and can't believe that.
Yeah.
You know, like the G.I. Joe Boo. Like if you're a fan of Major League and you're a fan of G.I., like what's the chances of like something? I don't know. It's just that weird nichey shit, man. People love that shit. So I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah. Well, I guess that's it for. Man, that might be. We might have just went through the quickest intro and Hall shout out plug section in Blackout now. Blackout and shout history right there. What time is it?
That's because I didn't get any figures.
Yeah.
It's also
all right. Well, you know what? Yeah. Let's not. Yeah. Let's keep it moving. Let's go to nerd news.
All right. Nerd news. So let's go with the deaths. George Perez died. He was 67 years old. American comic book artist. Worked on the Avengers. He was well known for Crisis on Infinite Earths, Teen Titans. He wrote
Batman
as well. Batman. He had pancreatic cancer.
Yes. Same thing that Alex Trebek died from.
Mm-hmm.
So,
let's see. Vangelis died. He was 79 years old. He was a Greek musician, Aphrodite's child, and he also did film composition. He got a Academy Award, I think it was or was it Grammy for Chariots of Fire?
Chariots of Fire.
Yep, Chariots of Fire. And that was number one on the charts for ever when that movie came out. And he also did the score for Blade Runner, which is probably how he's most well known. Oh, yeah, that's right. He won an Oscar in 1982. It was an Oscar for Chariots of Fire.
Mm-hmm.
He spanned, I think, 50 years of music with 40 plus albums or so. And he died of heart failure. He was one of those innovative musicians that's what's the word? Created that just out of nowhere that people never heard before. And he was really well known for that stuff. Before synthesizers were around, he was creating synthesizer music.
Mm-hmm.
There was a really cool write-up. I forget which article it was, but they took pictures and laid out his entire studio and all the different things that he used, and it was just crazy. Sometimes, Mike, if you look at people's pedal boards, Eric Johnson's a good one, or Steve Vai or something like that, and they have just 1,000 pedals, and you're like, how the fuck do they know which combinations? That's how his whole studio was. It was just patched.
It looks like an airplane. It looks like an airplane cockpit.
Yeah, it's the whole thing, and between the where his stuff was to it's just insane. But yeah, it's he was definitely a very innovative musician.
Before you move on, Jed.
Sorry. Yes.
Before we moved on, when someone posted that in the chat this morning, I thought that that they meant that internet celebrity or internet personality Vangelis had passed away. He's a toy reviewer on YouTube.
I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is.
You don't know that? No, yeah. I haven't seen him post anything in quite some time. I don't think because I subscribe to him. And I haven't seen anything coming up from him in my subscriptions. But I met him at TFCon a couple years ago.
Maybe he's the same person. Yeah, the same person.
Maybe the 70-some-year-old composer for Chariots of Fire was reviewing toys on YouTube.
Maybe.
Yeah. But no, he so I thought you meant that he her post. I thought they meant that he had died. I'm like, whoa.
I go birds Vangelis in Canada a couple years ago. Yeah.
Musician. Fred Ward died. He was also 79. I don't think they released what he died of. But here, Escape from Alcatraz, The Right Stuff, and of course, Tremors. And what was the one that I remember him in all the time? The is it Remo Rain? Not Remo.
Remo Williams.
Remo Williams. That's it. Adventures of Remo Williams. And let's be honest, but Patricia A. McKillop, she was 74. She was an American. I don't know if you ever read these books, Levy. She wrote The Beasts of Eld, Harpist in the Wind, Aria in the Shadow, and the one that I read, which was the one that leaves the most impression on me, was called Riddles. Huh. It was a very odd type of fantasy stuff that she wrote. Like there was like these people called harpists, and they used like harps as like magical, and a lot of like very druid type of stuff, people transforming into animals and like undead kings and all that stuff. So actually it was a really good book, but passed away. She was 74. Good, really great author for some of the stuff that she wrote. I remember reading some of her like one-shot stories too.
Yeah.
I guess they noted her like it was kind of like a certain type of prose in the way she wrote. But yeah, she passed away as well. And that's it. Move on to the trailers. Unless you have somebody else.
I stand corrected on the Evangelist thing. He has been posting. I just apparently am not subscribed to him like I thought I was.
Oh, so, I thought you were going to say he was the musician that was reviewing toys.
Yeah, he did. Yes, Internet Personality Evangelist did win an Oscar for his work on the composition for the soundtrack for Chariots of Fire. Yes. So
I knew it. That's actually short for like a very long Greek name. So maybe they actually share the same. Maybe he's Greek. Maybe he has the same name.
I don't know. He spells it differently though. He spells it with a U instead of an I.
Oh, okay. Trailers.
Yes.
What were the trailers? I forget. I watched them. I just don't remember. What is this now, Josh? What'd you post here?
We'll get to that, Levy. Don't worry about that. Don't let.
Okay. Well, I look back at the chat. I look back at the chat and I see like giant pictures posted in here. Stop disrupting our show, Josh.
This is why we keep the door locked.
Yeah, I see your security ain't worth shit.
Well, he was hosting last time, so he's been allowed to do things in here. I have not revoked his permission since.
Okay. Yeah, so I did see these trailers. Yeah. So, okay. So who wants to talk about what?
Mike, The Boys. How did you feel about this trailer, The Boys?
I know it's supposed to be a really good show. I didn't watch the first season. I didn't watch. Was there a second season?
Oh yeah.
Since there is 3 seasons, yes. Usually 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. Well, I didn't.
Well, yeah. Most shows don't go 1 to 3.
Fucking idea because I didn't watch.
He's used to watching Attack on Titan, where it's like season 2, part 5.
Yeah, right. Yeah. and then season 1 of the seasons was like fucking 45 episodes long or some shit. So I had no goddamn idea where I was, and I didn't know what season I was in that show either, and I was watching that religiously.
That's like first season of Transformers was 13 episodes. The second season,
like 60 something, right?
Oh, it was a
42, 52, yeah, it's a high number, whatever it is. Yeah.
You've watched the first 2 seasons, right?
Yes, Boys looks awesome. I can't wait. So very excited for it.
I did watch the that animated special that you watched.
Yeah, that anthology.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Was it Diabolical? Yeah.
Yes.
The one from Justin Roiland though. How funny was that shit?
That was funny, especially when
he slowly started choking. When Mo Slow started slowly choking his dad.
Yeah, and at the end, Homelander came just like aced everybody.
Yeah. And that was actually kind of sad though for that incorporeal girl because like she can't do nothing.
That's what happens when you're incorporeal.
Yeah. But yeah, that's so
the cool
funny.
thing about this one, this season they're adding the of being able to take the juice, basically get superpowers. Wow.
Yeah, the Compound V.
That was originally in the comic, like right off the get-go.
Yeah. I did like in one of the Diabolical episodes, the characters were basically modeled after their comic versions. If you noticed that. Was it Butcher and Huey? Because actually the who wrote it? Who wrote the Boys? Is it Miller?
No.
No. Shit. I can't remember.
I forgot.
Yeah, but anyway, he based Huey off of Simon Pegg.
Yes.
But when they actually ended up he wanted to cast Simon Pegg as Huey, but by the time they got around to actually developing the show and casting it, Simon Pegg was too old. So they cast him as Huey's father instead.
Garth Ennis is the writer.
Yeah.
He also wrote Preacher, I think. Garth Ennis.
I believe so. So Boys looks great. So can't wait. It's a good show, Mike. If you can get around to watching it, definitely put it high up on your list.
Yeah. It's probably never going to happen. Just because it's so far along, you know what I mean?
It's only 2 seasons. And it's only like 10 episodes a season, I think.
Yeah, but the third one's going to be out, and then I'll be 3 seasons behind.
Not for me to start it now.
For me to, man, I got so much shit to watch, man. I'll put
that shit on the back burner and watch The Boys.
I know, but it's like I do have other things going on. I just don't spend a whole
what do you got going on?
Like, what do you got going on?
Just do all those skits.
TikTok videos to make and a 3D printer to keep hidden in a box somewhere.
You guys need new material.
I'm just teasing, Mike.
Nah, I know.
So then, second trip may be lost on because I don't know if you guys ever watched Supernatural.
No, I never did. I have no interest.
Yeah. So this is a spin-off of a Supernatural show.
Maybe if you're doing a podcast with 2 middle-aged women.
Speaking about needing new material, that's an old one. That's a way back. No, I was just thinking the other day. I'm like, I miss Supernatural. I haven't seen it in a while. It popped up, and I was like, yeah, I'm actually looking forward to this because I miss some like good demon hunting type of show or something like that. You know,
this is the production that had some drama with Adam Pilecki, right? Because he kind of got squeezed out.
Yes, he was all salty and sad because no one talked to him because he was busy being a Texas Ranger on another show. Yeah.
I think that is kind of shitty, though. He was a major part of the show for 14 years, and they couldn't even extend him the courtesy of saying, "Hey, we're doing this."
They did.
Could you maybe? It was okay. Well, I don't know if they did or not. I'm just from what he's. I'm going by what he's saying. I'm going by what he said. And he said that nobody said nothing to him about it. So
that was the beginning of the thing where they promoted, like it was released, and then after it was released, they were going to talk to him, but he was busy filming stuff. So then eventually they got around
like monster trucks.
No, he does that Walker Texas Ranger show.
No, I know that. No, but there was a movie that he did called Monster Trucks where
he did.
Yeah, remember that show Monster? You never heard of that movie Monster Trucks with the where he found a monster and it actually was able to take over this truck.
No.
You don't. Oh, okay. Well, look it up. No. It's a dumb looking movie. It was critically panned. You don't say. Yeah.
Because the premise sounds just like crazy.
It was a 2016 movie.
No,
I'm sorry. That was Lucas Till, not Adam Pilecki. My bad.
Oh, see? Now I know why I didn't hear from him. Anyway, it looks good, the trailer. And last but not least...
It looked very similar, though.
Yeah. Last but not least, what did you guys think of the Prey teaser trailer? Did it surprise you?
No.
No?
Surprise you? A surprise is how? Like, in what context? What do you mean?
That it was a
Predator movie.
And they didn't use the word Predator in the title.
No, because I knew this was coming. They had announced this some time ago.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, they announced that they were doing a Predator prequel that was going to take place in the time of pre-colonial America. He was going to be hunting Native Americans.
I must have shoved that out of my brain because I didn't. Did you remember it, Mike?
I heard about it.
Probably not. I vaguely maybe remember them talking about doing another Predator, but I didn't. But when this popped up, it was like, oh, all right. Actually, I didn't even. I saw this trailer a couple days ago. Phil sent me a link to it, so I knew it was coming. But it's an interesting. I guess it's an interesting way or place to take the story. I guess. Although I'm thinking you said this is a prequel, obviously. So who the hell is going to be a Predator that's living in that era?
Well, it all depends, I think, on Well, no, he's saying because Native Americans, their level of technology is can't even begin to compete with predators, but it also depends on what kind of predator is chasing after them. Because if you go into like their extended lore and history and stuff, younger predators tend to use the more technologically advanced weapons. It's the older, more experienced predators that like to thrill the hunt that just go in with like wrist blades or like a spear, So an older predator that's looking to challenge himself, maybe one of these guys might have it. I mean, maybe one of these people might have a chance. Like a experienced hunter or whatever. Maybe he might have a chance of taking down a predator. But like if it's a younger predator just looking to get some trophies and shit, then probably not. Then they're probably not going to stand a chance. But
you say the older ones are not will go in with the blades and all that shit or whatever. But like, what about all the other stuff that's not necessarily offensive weapons? The invisibility, like the cloaking and like the infrared, like being able to read, like the night vision and all that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
No, sure, yeah, but I mean, Arnold managed to beat one in the first movie without any technology.
Yeah.
Or very, very little technology, I should say. He did still have some explosives and shit, but all it just took was like knowing his enemy, really. So he figured out his enemy couldn't see him if he was covered in mud, and so just some ingenuity and know-how. So but it all depends. But it looks like they definitely are using some technology, because in the trailer you see the laser sight.
The laser sight, yeah.
I do like the fact that they're releasing this like right to Hulu.
Yeah.
And like, so it's, it's one of those things where, if it does well, they can keep going with like one-shot stories like this.
Yeah.
Instead of having to worry about some big fucking production, making it into a big, another piece of shit Predator movie. So I like that. I like that idea, especially ever since Predator 2, when Danny Glover's character was thrown the flint musket. It kind of makes you think, oh, they've been around for a while. So there's a lot of stories you could, pick from.
Yeah. Yeah, that Predator 2 movie did a lot to expand their lore, even just like, a little bit,
Even with the aliens.
You really got,
that started it right there.
Yeah. I mean, you didn't really get any of their lore really in the first movie, other than the fact that you knew that they were intergalactic hunters, and that was it. They like to collect trophies of, with skulls and stuff like that, but you didn't know what else they hunted. You didn't know, was this their, like she said that like the woman in the first movie said that they would come in the hottest year. So they've been to Earth before, but like how far back did they go, and whatnot. So the second movie did expand on that a lot, and well, not a lot, but I mean, it just enough to give you ideas of, what they've been up to. So
plus, Predator 2 also gave us, the Scorpio. Because the Scorpio is ready.
Oh, Scorpio is ready. And then he fucking snorts a comical mountain of cocaine. Like a comical amount of cocaine. And like he comes running out of the building, like his face is just covered in cocaine.
Gary Busey was like over there, like, this isn't real cocaine.
He was a consultant as to how much cocaine a human being can snort without dying.
Yeah, that looks about right.
That looks like a Saturday night for me, man.
With that big, stupid, toothy fucking smile and shit.
Yeah. Sees I got a taste for beef.
The other ones I didn't post, but we could talk about the She-Hulk trailer. You would like?
Yes, I would like to talk about the She-Hulk trailer. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty sexy.
Yeah, I'm with you, Levy.
Big sexy green woman.
Yep, I'm with you.
And CGI look like shit.
Well, of course it's gonna look like shit. It's a trailer. It's a trailer. The CGI's not down or not done. It's not done.
I mean, Hulk look okay
because they had already got an existing model for him.
True, but yeah, she looked like shit.
Yeah, just give it time. Wait until the show comes out and then judge the CGI. It's the way it always works. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They work on this shit like up to like the last minute,
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure it'll look fine when the show launches. So, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. You know what I mean? But I am fairly confident that they'll get that CGI looking okay, decent at least. in time for the launch of the show. So,
Levy, sexier green chick, the She-Hulk or Gamora?
Oh, She-Hulk, easy.
Yeah?
Oh, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I love me some green Zoe Saldana.
Right.
But and I love me some blue Zoe Saldana. And, you know, I just love me some Zoe Saldana. But yeah, no, I'm digging the giant green woman.
Yeah, you like the idea of a big chick, like
Yes,
fucking
I do. Big tall woman.
throwing you around a little bit.
That's why I love Lady Dimitrescu.
Levy's you're a sub kind of guy. I get it.
You know, maybe I am.
Fucking
ain't no shame in my game.
Levy wants to get choked with that.
I know what I want.
Fever.
Not afraid to admit it.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it looks good too.
I'd let her carry me to the bedroom.
It at least looks like something I would watch. You know, like what the hell are they got coming out? That
not the boys though, right?
No. Well, you know, it's Marvel, man. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm it's like part obligation. A little bit. You got the one reason you need to watch the boys is because it's DC. If DC were cool in your eyes. Because that's I think it's what you would want to see out of DC to make it cool. Listen, I've seen episodes of The Boys. I'm not saying I never watched any of it because Vanessa, at least for the first season, Vanessa was watching it or whatever. So I was like in and out on episodes here and there. So I saw some stuff. No, I definitely I liked what I saw, but I just I didn't see it all the way through and the motivation to go back and watch it. I remember seeing what's his face, Homelander. Yeah, fry his old lady's head. Was that in season 1?
Yeah, it's the end of season 1.
I was like, wow, man.
Elizabeth Shue.
Yeah. She got it. She got it unceremoniously.
Right in the face.
Right in the face. I don't like Homelander. Because he's such a douchebag, man.
That's what makes him so great.
No.
That makes him so great because he is such a dickbag. He is such a fucking heel.
Listen, I like characters that are like dicks. You know what I mean? Like Deadpool's a dick, but you know, there's like certain characters that are dicks or whatever, and it's like, all right, they're cool, but like I don't know, man. Something rubbed me about the wrong way about him, man. It's probably like the frosted tips and shit. You know, he's just got that like. He looks like when he's not being Homelander, he's wearing like, you know, socks and sandals and listening to Dave Matthews.
But you're supposed to hate him because
I know. Oh, he's definitely
he has like no redeeming qualities whatsoever. But the problem is like he was made that way. He wasn't, he's not a naturally bad guy. He's a bad guy because of the way he was raised.
Right. No, the actor is great. Like that's how I tell a good actor. Like if they play a character that makes me want to hate him in real life, I'm like, they did a really good job, man. Like the dude that they got to play him, whatever his name is, he's plays a fucking good douchebag superhero. That's for sure.
Yeah.
You might be a bad guy, but you'll not be a bad guy.
Bad guy.
Good old Zangief.
So She-Hulk.
Yeah.
Oh, what I was gonna say was I watched that, but like that other, is it Miss Marvel?
Ms. Marvel. Yeah, Ms. Marvel.
I'm not watching that.
What?
You're also not a 15-year-old. I mean, that's what
I want to watch it. I'm not a 15-year-old girl.
It looks like I don't know. It looks like
15-year-old girl.
What's that?
I said you have the soul of a 15-year-old girl.
Oh, fuck you, Jed. The show looks fun. The show looks fun. It's lighthearted fun.
Here's the thing, Levy. Here's the thing. I'm not even shitting on the idea of the show because I feel like, like Jed was just joking, but in all reality, it's for teenage girls. And I think that there should be a Marvel series for teenage girls because why not have something for, because it's typically comic books is typically for boys, you know what I mean? So I think there should be those kind of shows, but I just don't want to watch it myself because I am a 45-year-old dude.
Right.
So,
you're just watching She-Hulk for the ass.
It's like eye level. Imagine how easy it would be to eat it. You know what I mean? And I would. But yeah.
That watermelon would squeeze you.
Oh man, can you imagine? What's next?
Did you guys watch the Avatar trailer? Avatar 2?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that actually at Doctor Strange too. So
Did you guys
That's
watch Doctor Strange? I know you did, Levy.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
You watched
I
it?
did.
Frank?
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, we can talk about that if you want. I watch it if you wish.
Yeah.
Well, did you want to talk about Avatar 2 actually first, or since you brought it up?
Sure. I mean, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was asking if you want to since you brought it up. Because I think
it's cool.
it looks okay.
I can't wait
I think it looks okay.
I'm all into the ocean, water effects, creatures, and all that stuff. So yeah, I can't wait for that. That looks cool.
Yeah, it looks cool. April really loved the first movie, so I know we'll go and see it.
I mean, give me James Cameron. I will watch anything he makes. That dude from Piranha 2 all the way to have all the shit that he makes, all of it.
Yeah.
What year did Avatar come out? Do you remember?
I was still living in Philly. I was still down in Philly, so it was over 10 years ago.
Would you say Levy 09? You're right.
Yeah, I think it was 2009.
I just remember seeing that shit, man. That when I saw that for the first time and was like, I was just like visually just blown away. And I know that 2000 isn't like that long ago, but even still, man, it was just some crazy CG going on in that movie, and well done. It's not like it was
and it pushed the developers of VR to go that get to where they are today.
Yeah, it was an ambitious undertaking, and they pulled it off. Rather well. All right, everybody still there?
Yes.
Okay. Anyways, Doctor Strange.
Oh, I have a bit of news before we go into the what do we watch type of thing. This was interesting. Marvel just signed a deal with Entertainment. It's basically Stan Lee's company to besides that, but for like promotion thing in like Marvel stuff, 20-year deal. It's a really long time for contract, but basically use his voice, likeness, archival, video and everything else to help promote Marvel products.
And this is between Disney and who?
I think it's called POW Entertainment. That's what it was. Stan Lee's company.
Huh. How do you feel about that?
Yeah. He kind of like since the 70s, he was like the face of. He's always been like, even when he wasn't with Marvel, like he was like always promoting and stuff in general. So he's become more of an icon than he has a person. So I think I'm okay with that. But what about from a standpoint of if it's done like tastefully or whatever, but like if he's like, you have a fucking Stan Lee cutout at a fucking ride waving his arm back and forth like, hey there, true believers, wear your seatbelt, then I'm like,
right.
Excelsior.
You hit the nail on the head with saying if it's done tastefully, because I was thinking it's kind of weird to he's gone and you want to so now whatever you do with him is going to be like your interpretation of Stan Lee, and it's no longer Stan Lee. Like I was looking at it more from a guess a different standpoint than for an entertainment purpose. Like, yeah, go for it. That's fucking awesome. But from like a human standpoint, it's a little weird. Like, is what if he's no longer here and you have him doing crazy shit like when Pete Cullen finally passes away, it's like, well, let's get the rights to make like a hologram Pete Cullen, and then we'll have him do the cocaine off the stripper's ass like we talked about. And Pete is no longer here to be like, hey, I would never do such a thing, or maybe I would, like that's where I'm coming from, I guess.
Well, I mean, they did Carrie Fisher was redone in CGI, and her daughter played her, and the family gave permission to do that. That was like started in Rogue One already. Then I forget what his name was, Peter or something, but he played Tarkin in Rogue One as well. They CGI'd his whole character. Peter Cushing, thank you. Who else am I thinking of? They used Carrie Fisher's archival footage in last Star Wars movie, and shit. There's the it seems like mostly Star Wars stuff, but in the latest Boba Fett season, they had Luke Skywalker, which is basically Mark Hamill, and he didn't act out or motion capture anything, and they had some other actor playing him. They completely resynthesized his voice. He didn't record any lines or anything like that.
Really?
And it was all CGI and deep fake video, like kind of mixed together.
Yeah.
They synthesized his voice, you said?
Yeah, they synthesized his whole voice. It's like a deep fake for audio.
I knew they had that.
basically-
I didn't know it was that advanced yet.
Oh yeah, I could have like a year or more ago, I could have taken like our podcast episodes and completely made like a clone of like your voice or Mike's voice and resynthesized everything.
Please don't do that.
Yeah. Text to speech.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. Like when you think about all the capabilities, man. Well, I guess I think more so than the money being, exchanged or like contracts or this or that or the other thing. I would think that, to me anyways, is most importantly like that you get Stan Lee's family's blessing in order to do something of that nature.
So they could go back and just take as many, video and audio clips from Creed, a CGI, representation of him, or audio representation of him, and it'll sound and look, like him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. Why not let the guy live on?
Yeah. I hear you.
But there's of course everybody else would think that's wrong, and it's crude, blasphemy, and full, and
Well, that's where the family's blessing comes in. Is like if you get the the family's blessing to go ahead with it, well then everybody should shut the fuck up because it ain't their business.
Yeah, right.
Basically.
Yeah. It's nobody's business. So, other than the families. So
wait, so let's think about this for a little bit. So what if we went back like 80 years, 100 years or so, right? And we picked an actor that's gone, like say Charlie Chaplin, right? Or something like that. And they re-CGI'd him and you just make like a new Charlie Chaplin. Is that okay? Or is that just bad to resurrect an actor that's gone? Well,
again, I mean, I think they would need permission from the estate to do it.
Let's say they have that. Is it okay to resurrect old actors?
If they have permission from the estate, then I have no problem with it.
Yeah. Same here.
So Mark Hamill's gone, Harrison Ford's gone, Carrie Fisher's gone. Let's say you make a new Star Wars movie with them, just CGI them. Everybody's okay with it. They sign the deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. As long as the estates or families are okay with it, who am I to freaking be like, oh, you can't do that?
You're the consumer. You're the person who's going to watch it.
Well, if I have a problem with it, then I won't watch it. That's how it works. If you have a problem with it, don't watch it. But
right,
I personally wouldn't have a problem with it. So
because we're getting to that point where we're basically just make our own, make our own actors and actresses.
It's going to be automation in the entertainment industry. Actors will be out of a job.
How about it?
Awesome. All right, let's talk about Doctor Strange.
Well, as the Blackout and Shout Show's resident Marvel apologist, I can throw my thoughts out there first if you'd like.
Continue.
So let me take a sip of coffee quick. So from the standpoint of like, the 10-year-old comic book fan in me, I pretty much enjoyed the shit out of it. Like I had a great time watching it. It was, it was entertaining. I didn't find myself bored for a minute while I was watching it. From a 45-year-old watching the movie from a little bit more of a critical standpoint, you think that maybe Sam Raimi'd the movie a little too much. Like there was, Evil Dead and Army of Darkness stuff. You know what I mean? Like even if you didn't know you were watching a Sam Raimi movie, it still had Sam Raimi written all over it. Like you'd be able to tell. Like when for instance, when the Scarlet Witch, when she possessed the other Scarlet Witch, and there was that whole chase scene and stuff. Like she just straight up looked like a Deadite, moved like a Deadite, looked like a Deadite. The zombie Doctor Strange, at the end, and there was just a lot. There was a little. Man, I didn't feel like I was watching an MCU movie as much as I was watching maybe like a one-shot Doctor Strange movie that was done in the Army of Darkness universe. You know what I mean? It had a little too much, you know, and that's being nitpicky. I mean, like it was a good movie. I had a good time watching it and shit like that, but that was the only thing that kind of like was putting it off for me.
To say the opposite, like, well, to not agree with what you're saying, but like, are you saying that you wanted to hinder the artistic like view of the director so it was more in line with the mainstream MCU?
I think here's what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, when you first use Photoshop and you discovered the effects, and the first thing you did was throw too many effects on everything that you did just because you can do it. Like, that's what I feel like Sam Raimi did to Doctor Strange. He overdid it sometimes. You know, like, yeah, it's gonna have every you know, every director that does a movie is gonna have their stamp on it and stuff like that. But you know, but all that being said, I was entertained. Like, I would still give it like a 7 or an 8 out of 10 if I had to give it a grade, like a number grade.
Yeah. So I saw that. I saw what you saw with the Sam Raimi is definitely a Sam Raimi film. Definitely a Sam Raimi horror film. Right. But I actually enjoyed that because it was a nice homage to The Evil Dead. And Marvel from the beginning has been doing mashup films with their movies, like mashup genres. Because like Captain America was a war movie that happened to have superheroes in it. Thor was a fantasy film that happened to have superheroes in it. Winter Soldier was a political was like a political spy thriller that happened to have superheroes in it. You know, so they've always done these genre mashups with superheroes, and so this was their first shot at doing a superhero horror film. And we all knew it was going to be a horror film from the beginning. They always marketed it and said it was going to be. Excuse me. So I thought this was a loving homage to his work that he'd done before in a new not medium, with a new spin on it, I guess. So yeah, I definitely do. I really liked the Evil Dead influences and references and all that. So it really, I don't think they took me out of the movie, but I definitely noticed and saw that they were there, and I was like, oh, that's cool. I definitely know what he was going for with that. So. I
have to preface the whole thing by saying I am a Sam Raimi fan. Like, it wasn't. I know. I don't want to see that because I don't like that guy's work. It's not anything. And I agree with you. It didn't. Most of the time, didn't take me out of the movie. But there was a couple times where shit got a little like.
Right, but do you think it was? Do you think it was maybe done to the detriment of the film a little bit?
Only if I was to be super nitpicky. There was a few instances where, and it sounds crazy to say because we're talking about a movie with a sorcerer and a universe traveling teenage girl and a witch and like all this shit, and you're like, well, you know what? It should be able to be as ridiculous as you want it to be, and it's fine. And for the most part, it was. But there was like a couple times where I'm like, all right, what, like when they were fighting each other with the musical notes.
Oh, you didn't like that?
Nah, I hated it. I hated it.
I like that a lot. But
that was
like, did that stuff take you out of the movie though? Like, did it break your immersion?
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit.
Right. Okay. But then that's valid. Yeah.
But again, this isn't even me saying that I dislike the movie. I was entertained. This is I'm just trying to I'm trying to be critical of the movie, like for better or for worse. I still enjoyed the shit out of it, but there was a few times where I was like, well, I don't know.
Mike, your opinion is valid here.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think it's like one of those things where
this is a safe place to
yeah, safe place. This is a safe room.
This is a safe place to showcase your opinions.
To like use a musician, right? It's like guitar players.
Yeah, I didn't hear anything that he said. To use a musician, what?
To like use an example, as a musician, right? Yeah. So like, like a lot of guitar players have their favorite licks they like to use a lot, or they reuse, Yeah. I think that's how the Sam Raimi, like how directors are. They have their thing that they like to do, and they like to do that when they're, creating their whatever it is they're creating.
Right.
So it didn't bother me because I knew Sam Raimi stuff, and I actually like Levy. I enjoyed seeing that because it's different from his Spider-Man films. It was more like a Darkman, esque type of flavor to it. But yeah, I liked all that stuff.
Yeah,
and the music.
Yeah, it was neat seeing
and all that stuff.
Yeah, it was neat seeing his like first person camera like quick zoom in shots and stuff like that, where you're seeing things from like the enemy or the monster's perspective and whatnot, and the quick camera shots where they're like the person's like looking in different directions and the camera zooms in from different directions quickly and everything like that. That's all very signature Raimi.
What did you guys think about the whole Illuminati inclusion?
I'm gonna tell you something, Jed. Oh man, when Professor X came flying out in his golden wheelchair and they played that little snippet of the X-Men theme song and shit, man, every goddamn hair on my body, including the 4 that I got on my chest, all stood on end. Hell yeah, man. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel, I didn't realize who Captain Marvel was until after the movie, because they said Captain Marvel and then they showed that chick and I'm like, well, who the hell is that? But that was the girl from the Scarlet Witch, the what was her face? Rambone. Rambone, that's in the Duberverse.
Maria Rambeau.
Maria Rambeau, yeah.
It was her friend from it was her friend from the Captain Marvel movie.
I actually have that written down. I have like a Duberverse list that I'm making my way through, and Maria Rambeau is on there. And
nice.
That's why I get. It's kind of like "Wish You Were Here" with Jefferson doing the spliff and the beer version of it. Like every time I hear "Wish You Were Here," I just don't hear that anymore. I hear Jefferson. So whenever I see certain Marvel characters or whatever, I see the Duberverse versions. But yeah, anyways, I didn't know who that was right away. But yeah, I thought that was pretty. Well, mostly more interesting than the Illuminati, which I guess is all part of the same storyline or whatever. Was they were talking about the incursions, which I thought was really interesting because I really want to see Secret Wars happen at some point. And I don't know what it's going to take to build up to it, but I mean that's a definite reference to the Avengers arc that led to Secret Wars. So, and bro, Black Bolt blowing his own head off.
I was gonna say when Scarlet Witch turned him into a fucking Funko Pop, that was probably one of my favorites.
Yeah, man, that shit was pretty violent for Marvel, man. Because it's not like they panned away; they just showed his head fucking cave in.
You guys kept saying this is a horror, and I didn't. Maybe, but not a very gory, not a very horror compared to other horror movies.
Right.
But yeah. Sure. But yeah, I mean, there should be some horror elements in it.
Yeah. This was, to me, this was as much a horror movie as like the New Mutants was, obviously New Mutants was nowhere near as good as this movie, but like horror elements, I guess, like I didn't see nothing in the movie. I didn't get no jump scares out of it or nothing scary, but it just had horror elements.
One thing that I saw on Twitter is that when Professor X was in her mind and he was trying to, get her, when she jumps out of the cloud, like behind him, she doesn't break his neck. She rips his head in two. It's just so fast. You don't see. She literally rips the bottom part of his jaw, twists it off and twist away.
The top rips the top half of his head off. Is that what you're saying?
She grabs him by the chin and by the top of the head, and it looks like she's breaking his neck, but she's doing the break neck move, but she's actually ripping the lower half of his face off and turning the other part of the face the other way.
It must have been on a frame or two, because I didn't. I just saw it as a neck break move. Yeah,
and there's like blood type of poof, but it was just like all the red cloud behind her. It all blended. Yeah, it was like 1 or 2 frames, but yeah, it was just like, it looks like a neck snap. It's like, nope, she ripped his head in two. So she had like the fangs and like the whole Evil Dead fucking eyes and shit like that.
I like the evil Scarlet Witch, man. She's scary, man. There's nothing scarier than a woman with that much power, like she reality warping power, and then she's crazy and pissed off at the same time. Like, that's scary.
Yeah.
What did you think of the scene? What did you think of the fight scene, like where she was fighting everybody at the, what was the name of the temple where all the magic users were? God damn it, man. Where she first...
Armitage?
Yeah, is that it? Yeah. Like where they're all outside and shit, and she was kind of like trying to get in the heads of a few of them. And what'd you guys think of that fight scene? That whole...
It was all right. Didn't seem too much of Rintra, so he didn't really do a whole lot.
Thought it was weird that they had cannons.
They were magic cannons.
Yeah, I know, but it was still weird.
Just trying to think back to that battle though. I did like when they put her in the mirror universe or into the mirror dimension, and then she started using any reflective surface, kind of like the ring, like Sadako.
Yeah.
And then she like freaking crawled out like Sadako, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man." They're taking like all sorts of like horror influences.
And I shared a link to the video where he gets his head ripped into.
I was just looking for it.
Oh yeah, no, I was actually
it's on Twitter.
Watching it on,
that's why you couldn't find it.
No, I was actually looking at YouTube, going frame by frame, and yeah, it definitely looks like she kind of like rips his head apart.
Oh shit! Look at that. Damn. Yeah, you got to go frame by frame.
What do you guys think of Mr. Fantastic?
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that they cast John Krasinski.
I think John Krasinski played. I think he acted that well. Mm-hmm. I think he make a good Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah.
I think the writing kind of sucked because all he did was stand there and point at how Black Bolt was going to kill her. So
yeah. Basically tell her how Black smartest man alive.
Right.
I also like the fact that they didn't. I also like the fact that they didn't recast Black Bolt. They brought back Anson Mount as Black Bolt. So it shows that they're not completely ignoring that burning pile of shit show that Inhumans was. So some people were upset that there weren't more cameos.
I was, the way they were talking about it and the way that social media played it up is like all these reshoots and everything like that were have like more and more and more and more cameos because of how well Spider-Man did with
yeah.
And it wasn't that at all. It was just shots and
I'm glad it wasn't. I'm glad they didn't do all that shit, man. Like I didn't want I don't want to clutter it up, like don't clutter up the movie with too much stuff. Like I'll say that, I don't know. Like there was enough going on, with the Illuminati and a new character in that America Chavez, and like there was enough stuff going on to keep it interesting, but there wasn't. You're not going to do an Endgame and Infinity War where you could have 200 characters in a movie and it's still like cohesive and you can follow it and everything. Like sometimes you try to do that shit and it's just too much shit happening. So I'm glad they didn't clutter it all up.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ways that DC messed up. They tried doing too much.
They did the whole thing where he went through, the different universes, right?
Oh, and back to back when they were flying through. Yeah.
They could have did something like where they did something like that again, but like had people kind of just like noticing them go through, and it could have been a fun little cameo. They could have at least put Deadpool in, or anybody at all from anything, from even Spider-Man stuff, just anything they could have threw it in there. And I think it was, I think that's the reason why a lot of people felt bummed out about it, because they wanted in their head all these different, characters that did. But I think they could have threw in a couple too. They never did. I know that Bruce Campbell filmed a scene. He was supposed to be part of the Illuminati at Balder from Thor's brother, but they canned that and they replaced him with John Krasinski for the Fantastic Four thing. At the very least, I think they could have put Deadpool in.
Yeah, I can see those kind of cameos, like something a little quick like that, but I thought you meant more like Spider-Man, where there were so many characters in, and they were all like important parts of. They were like part of the storyline, as opposed to just.
I would have liked to see fun cameos, like instead of the Bruce Campbell vendor thing, like have be Ash, like where they're just kind of walking through a dimension and he's like killing a zombie or something like that, or a
Deadites.
Yeah, or anything like that. It could have just been thrown in anybody for from any other previous thing,
or have him fighting Marvel zombies,
or that too.
That would have been cool.
That's what the Doctor Strange zombie, the zombie towards the end. That's kind of what that reminded me of. Like, made me wonder if they'll ever do some sort of like just some one-off Marvel Zombies movie or a series or something, or if this little thing in Doctor Strange is like, hey, here's your Marvel Zombies.
Remember they did it in What If?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did. Well, yeah.
There's rumors that there's a Captain Carter series in development.
Cool.
There you go, Levy. Another nice big buff woman.
Yeah.
Throw you around a little bit.
There's the other thing that kind of bothered me too about the end of Doctor Strange was that America Chavez was just like training, as a sorcerer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What wasn't she gonna like go look for her mom's?
Yeah,
they were just like gone. They're like, she can control her powers now, right? So
I think I'll learn some sorcery first.
Yeah, that might be smart. Going out and say if you're gonna go dimension jumping, you might want to have some offensive weapons on your side, I guess.
Take Wong with you.
Yeah. I love the line where she was telling Doctor Strange about like, because he saw her in her dreams and shit, and she was saying about when you dream, which I thought was like super interesting and tripped me to fuck out, like when I really thought about it. But when she was saying about how dreams are, you're seeing visions of like you and what you're doing in other universes and stuff, which tripped me out, man. And then Wong was like, so that dream that I have about me in my underwear, whatever. I can't remember exactly what he said, but it happened.
My favorite part of that was when they were talking to the evil Doctor Strange. He's like, if you ever dreamt that I pushed you down the stairs or off the building, that was probably me.
Yeah. If you ever fallen, that was probably me. Yeah. I liked how when the Illuminati were fighting Wanda, and Captain Carter just watched her make Black Bolt blow his own head up. She reduced Mr. Fantastic to spaghetti. So what does she do? She throws a frisbee at her.
Yeah.
Yep.
This will stop her for sure.
Yeah. Well, you can only work with what you got, Levy.
What was that, Mike?
I say you can only work with what you got.
Yeah. But by the same token, too, I've seen that shield hit people and not cut them in half, too. So I don't know why it cut her in half. But, of course, I also seen Captain America cut through metal bonds with it, too. So
it cuts through shit when it has to.
Yeah. When the plot demands it.
When the plot demands it.
Like Spider-Man says, that just doesn't obey the laws of physics.
Yeah. Good point.
So what's going on with Strange at the end then? With like the third eye Strange is that a piece of the evil Strange in him? Like they combined somehow, or is that like the evil Strange took him over? Like what's going on there? What do you guys think? What is happening with?
I don't know. I think he learned how to open his third eye. It's what the ancient one told him in the first movie. It's like open your eye, and she puts her thumb on his forehead.
Dark side type of stuff.
Yeah,
maybe
slowly going down the dark side.
Thought it was weird how it abruptly cut off when he was like walking down the street, and then like he starts screaming, and then it's like third eye opens and it cuts off. And the next thing you know, like in the post-credit scene, he's just walking down the street again, and he's perfectly fine. So that was a little jarring. And then Clea shows up, and he opens his eyes, says, "All right, let's go." That's really weird. But I hope they don't freaking show that a lot, because that is just that third eye thing's really unnerving to me.
Yeah, it was weird.
So we done with Doctor Strange? Should we move on?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to point out from that movie, but I think. Also, Shumagorath couldn't have been Shumagorath, even though it looked like Shumagorath.
No, it was Gargantos. His name was Gargantos, which in the comic, Gargantos looks nothing like Shumagorath.
Yeah,
but
But why do you think they would have used obviously Shumagorath's character model?
Because they probably had no intention of using like Shumagorath as he truly was, because the character's rights are owned by Conan.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, they just figured maybe they just throw him in there as a quick one-off monster that'll, as a nice little reference, but to try and actually use him as like a major villain and stuff like that probably wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
So, like I said, they never said the creature's name, but in the script, from what I understand, they called him Gargantos.
And one other thing I wanted to point out too that I wasn't totally following. So when they had Strange and America Chavez locked up, and Strange's girlfriend, what's her face, from that dimension or from that universe, I should say.
Yeah. Christine.
She was like talking about the different universes and this and that. And she's like, yours is 616, which confused the shit out of me because he's from the main Marvel cinematic universe. But it was always my understanding that the main universe in the comics was 616.
Yeah. Probably because I think different universes have their own different numbering systems. And so what we call 616, they may call some completely different number. That would be my guess. Or a way to rationalize it anyway.
Wait. The way that they would number universes would be different from the way we would. What do you mean?
Or from the way one universe numbers their their alternate universes would be different from the way another universe numbers their alternate universes from their perspective. It's all relative.
I'm number 9 in this universe. In another universe, they would just tell me that I was number 6.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
gotcha.
Because like in the comics, in the comic numbering system where the mainstream Marvel comics are 616.
Yeah,
the cinematic universe has its own designation. I don't remember what the number is, but it's some big number. But the MCU's got its own separate designation. But apparently in this movie, this particular universe calls the MCU 616. So they probably they threw that in there for a reference.
It was a little on the nose, like to use that exact number it just had me confused because
it was just it's just a reference.
Right. I gotcha. That's all I have from Strange.
Jed, I finally sat down and played this one video game that's been out for a couple months now on Game Pass. It's called 12 Minutes.
Okay.
It's a Groundhog Day style game where you play a husband who just gets home from work. His wife has a meal ready or gets a meal ready. You guys sit down to eat. And while you're eating, a police officer or somebody claiming to be a police officer shows up, tries to arrest your wife, claiming that she murdered her father 8 years prior. And then, depending on how things work out, invariably, it always resets back 10 minutes. So you just keep repeating the same 10-minute loop over and over again, unless you die, get hit, or whatever else. And then or try to leave the apartment, and then everything just resets back to the time that you walk in the door.
Interesting.
And you have to basically the game is just revolves around you making choices and asking questions and talking in conversations to try and figure out what's going on. And it's actually really cool. I don't recommend buying it, which I know you wouldn't. But because it's only a couple of hours worth of gameplay, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I played it on Game Pass, so I didn't really pay anything extra for it other than my Game Pass subscription fee. But if you can play it for free somehow, I would definitely give it a look. It's pretty good. It's called 12 Minutes.
12 minutes.
Even though it's a 10-minute loop, it's called. There's a reason why it's called 12 minutes, even though it's only a 10-minute loop. So yeah. But that's all I'm going to say about it. I don't want to give any spoilers because that's part of the mystery of what this game's about. So
right.
But definitely check it out. It's fun.
I will check it out when you check out Half-Life Alyx.
Okay. And also I know I told you about this game before. It's called Her Story. It's a similar game. It's not a Groundhog Day type of thing, but you're you play somebody who is investigating something and you're looking into old interrogation videotapes, and it's all like live action video stuff like this. You watch these tapes, but like you have a search bar that you can look up keywords, and it'll bring up specific videos where those keywords appear, and you can watch those clips, but it only shows like the first 4 results. So if you need to see something more specific, you got to refine your search, that sort of thing. And you can by watching the video clips and stuff like that, you can maybe like kind of pick out new keywords to search up. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And so you have to try and piece together what happened, and that's a lot of fun too. That one, I think when I bought it on Steam, was only like a couple of dollars, so that was well worth the money. I thought.
That Her Story.
It's called Her Story. Yeah,
that sounds interesting too.
Yeah, so
cool.
But yeah, definitely check those out.
I started watching Star Trek: Strange New Worlds about Black Bolt. What's his name? He's the same actor. What's his name again? Anson Mount. I really like that. Show. It's very story of the week type of thing, and there's like no overarching type of problem, issue.
Just the way I love my Trek.
And the first episode was great, and then the second was like, it was okay. But then the third one, the last one that was just on, it was fantastic. They're all good. It was. I highly recommend you watching that because it's like solid core. Like Star Trek, not like, hey, I might do this whole big, huge like story for the whole season. And him as Captain Pike it's just really good overall. Yeah.
And you heard who they got to play Captain Kirk in season 2, right? From Vampire Diaries.
Yeah. Well, his father, his father is Sam Kirk, is on the ship.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a bit different established canon, isn't it?
It is. It's well, I mean, if you read the what book was it that I read? Was it Enterprise? It was like he was originally the security officer that was on the original Enterprise prototype. Forget the name. Forget the name of the name. I think the name of Final Frontier. I don't know. It was. I remember the book was red, and it was like it took place like on one of those pre type of like voyages. But his the father Kirk was originally on the original thing. Anyway, but back to Strange New World. It's really good. I like it a lot. Like I said, the last was really solid. It's like really good character development. Like who all the crew members are, kinda, and instead of them just kind of blending together, and it's good character development on it. I also watched Morbius this past week. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that bad.
Really?
I didn't think it was like as bad as what everyone was saying it was. I thought it was okay. I thought the ending kind of was stupid, with the clips with Michael Keaton and stuff. But I thought it was all right. I thought it was an all right story. I thought it was okay. Definitely better than the whole Moonfall movie. So, and I watched The Northman. That was fantastic. Okay. That was really good. That's the one where you guys watched the trailer, and I remember Mike saying something like, where he was kind of tired of like Viking stories and stuff like that. Yeah. This was like it story type of thing, but it was not like the typical Viking show or movies or anything that we've watched already. It was just basically like a story about this one dude and his like mission for like revenge and stuff, and it was really good.
Wait, the movie's called The Northman?
Yeah,
I thought it was The Norseman.
Is it The Norseman, or is it?
No, it is The Northman. Which I think is funny because his character's name in True Blood is Eric Northman.
Oh yeah, right. Because he was a Viking, wasn't he? In True Blood?
I think he was a Viking in True Blood. That's funny. Maybe this is Eric Northman.
Maybe
it's a True Blood prequel.
I was really surprised that they didn't publicize actors that were in it. Nicole Kidman's in it, and William Dafoe, and I forgot his name now. Who's the guy that was in Moon Knight? The bad guy.
Ethan Hawke, man.
Ethan Hawke, man.
Ethan Hawke. Ethan Hawke.
I call Hawkman because every time from it was
Hawkman.
from what's that show? Drawn Together. He was like part of some sort of like superhero Justice League type parody thing, but he was called Ethan Hawkman, and it was like Hawkman, but he had like Ethan Hawke's like signature stubble and everything. And just the name stuck with me, and I thought it was the funniest thing. So I always call him Ethan Hawkman now.
But it was really good. I highly recommend that. It was a really good movie. Like I said, nothing like any Viking movie you've ever or show you've watched yet. So it could have been anything, but the Viking thing kind of makes sense. Highly recommend it. Watch that if you have a chance.
Oh,
That's
it.
it.
I'm sure April would want to see it.
It's good. That's all I watched. How about you, Mike? You watch anything new and cool?
Nah, but before we get together the next time, we will probably have watched the Attack on Titan because it's caught up now.
Oh, okay.
The dub version. So we'll rip through the last. I think we have like 7 episodes to go, so we'll probably get that in. And I wasn't like sitting down and watching it, but like when I was working on stuff and doing some shit, sometimes I just put shit on or whatever like that I've seen before. Are you guys Ninja Scroll fans at all?
Oh yeah,
I like the movie.
Yeah. So did you guys ever hear of a series called Basilisk?
No. Mm-mm. I know what Basilisk is, but I don't know. I never heard of the series.
If you dig Ninja Scroll, you would love the shit out of that series. It's one season, but it's like 24 episodes. And each episode's short. I think they're like 25, 26 minutes each or whatever. And it's basically, the best way I could describe it is kind of like, it's like a Romeo and Juliet story, but there's 2 ninja clans. And the dude in the one clan is in love with the girl from the other clan, but the 2 clans are like mortal enemies. And there's a peace treaty like between the 2 of them that's like hundreds of years old, and it gets dissolved. And then these 10 the 2 clans pick like their 10 most powerful warriors, and it's basically like a March Madness type thing where, you know, they fight amongst themselves down to the end. Whoever's left standing wins at the end and shit like that. But each 10 from each side has some sort of like superhero type ability or some shit, you know. And it's a fun watch, man.
Sounds like Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, it's kind of like, and I say Ninja Scroll because it's like I don't think it's by the same studio. I can't confirm that. I should actually just look it up, but it kind of has that same sort of feel to it. You know, it's got great like
90s anime or 2000s or 2010, 2020. Is it new or old style?
It's old-ish. I'm looking it up right now.
So probably 2000.
I want to say early 2000s. Yeah. 2008. Oops. Oh, come on, for Christ's sake. Basilisk anime. 2005 it came out. Yeah, 2005.
I'll check it out.
Definitely has like the Ninja Scroll kind of look to it, like animation wise and art wise, you know. And this is like a lot of the ninjas or samurais or whatever from either side, and they kind of remind me of some of the enemies that he had to fight. And that actually the one is like remember the one that had all the bees in him and shit, like he was like the bee monster type dude. There's like a spider type dude that's kind of like that guy, you know. There's like, I don't know, they all just got these like weird ass powers. It's a fun watch, but I've been kind of watching that a little bit.
I started watching that Hellsing Ultimate version.
Oh yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah Hellsing's like, underrated. Like, you don't hear too many people talking about that shit, but it's a good.
Well, this one's like, the story apparently has changed, so it like matches the manga. Yeah, and it's like crazy good. It's like, I was like, wow, I couldn't believe how good the story was so far. Did you, in the original, did they have the what the hell was their last name? Valentine? Did they have the Valentine brothers in that?
I seen them both, and I'm getting them both confused.
Did you watch? Oh, you watched Hellsing Ultimate? You did?
Yeah, I watched all of it. Yeah. But I saw it a while ago.
Did? What did you?
Yeah. Oh my god.
How long ago did you watch that Ultimate?
It was a while ago. I don't remember exactly.
Because when I told you about it, you sounded like you never heard of it before.
No. I knew about it.
Oh, okay. How about you, Lily? Watch anything cool?
No, I don't think so. I just been watching a lot of YouTube videos this week. Like I said, I've been pretty sick and everything, so I just kind of sat on the couch and did that. And then, like, leading up to that, I've been doing a lot of work on my computer and getting my PC space done. So
did you wind up on the wrong side of YouTube, where they were telling you how to, like, you know, not get pulled over by police, and if you do what you're supposed to say?
No. I was actually watching a lot of PC videos and stuff like that, like Jay's 2 Cents and Bitwit and Linus Tech Tips and shit. And because I'm building a PC for a coworker, so I'm just looking at different things. So
educational programming.
Yeah, kind of. Well, I was just looking at like benchmarks and stuff like that for different GPU CPU combinations and stuff, because I think he wants to get kind of high end, but doesn't want to go too crazy. So I was thinking about getting him a Ryzen 5600X with a 3070 Ti. Well, not getting it for him because he's going to be paying for it, but because he doesn't really know too much about computers at all. So
not to dip into the Blackout and Shout financial or anything like that, but has the video cards coin everything's been dropping?
Oh, absolutely. They're almost at MSRP. GPUs are available again, so now is a good time. Well, actually, though, a lot of people are hesitant to buy GPUs again now, and that's one of the reasons why they're so available, because apparently NVIDIA is going to be announcing the 4000 series, and there's rumor that they may be coming out sooner than people thought, because people thought they were going to be getting released in October, but now it looks like they may be getting released this summer. That's the rumor. So, and I'm hearing 4000 series cards are going to be like a 40%, 50% increase in performance, I think. So that's cool. What I'm hearing. I don't know. It's all rumor conjecture at this point, but you know,
when they're announced and stuff, do the other cards like immediately drop in price, or does it like a slow ramping down?
It depends. Like I know when they announced the 3000 series cards, you know, like when the 3080 got announced and how much of a huge performance increase it was going to be over the 2080 Ti at like half the price, like over half the price of it. Right. People started dumping their 2080 Ti cards, which ended up being a real stupid move because nobody could get a 3080. So now they just dumped their premium card, and now they had nothing. And it's like, you dumb fucking idiots. But
I want to upgrade from my 1080 Ti.
Yeah, well then a 4000 series card. You know, I mean,
see what the prices and things are.
Well, right now would be a good time to buy. Because the cards are almost at MSRP. In fact, some models of cards are at or below MSRP now.
Yeah, but if I get 3080 like Ti or something like that, if they announce the 4000 whatever, I mean they're going to drop in price. So I mean, for at least a couple $100. Maybe.
The thing is, though, I have a feeling the 4000 cards are going to be just as hard to get as the 3000 were at launch, because people are going to be scalping them. They're going to be using their bots to scoop them up. So my suggestion, and this is just my thoughts on it, because I really do believe that these 4000 cards are going to be hard to get. Maybe you should consider buying something now because if those 4000 cards are going to be hard to get, that may drive the 3000, may drive other GPU prices back up again. It might drive scarcity back up again.
That's a good point too.
So, you know, it may be prudent to buy now before it becomes a fucking circus again. It's a gamble, you know.
Unless they do that thing where you sign up and then when they become available, you get like, you know,
email. Well, I'm sure EVG. Yeah, and the other thing too is like a lot of places may have learned from their mistakes when 3000, because I mean I think everyone was kind of blindsided by the whole scalping thing when the 3000 cards came out. They weren't expecting them to like scoop everything out from under people. But they've got systems. They got systems in place now that they can actually have in place when these cards launch. And so maybe that might be, you know, make them easier to get now. So that's a good point. I didn't think of that. So it really is a gamble. You know, do you want to, you know, because you got a really good chance of getting in the card you want now, or getting a good card now, or you can wait and get a better card But then you also run the risk of, bots and scalpers fucking swooping out from underneath you. So
I'll have to think about it.
Yeah.
Cool. Do you have any news, Levy?
Weird news, I do. I have a little bit. I forgot to mention in my hauls, I actually got a new phone.
Ooh.
I didn't actually set it up yet, though, so I'm still using my old one, but I got a Galaxy Note 20.
Wow.
So, yeah, my phone was... What's that?
Man, I said 20. I'm like way back.
Yeah, well, the one, my old phone is a Galaxy Note 8. So...
Yeah.
Which, if you remember, the Note 7 was the one that kept exploding in people's pockets. So, if you remember all the Two-Face memes that were going around at that time, I'm here to return my Note 20. I'm here to return my Note 7. Oh, those fucking things were funny. Okay.
You can get like a RTX 3080 Ti for like $1,200 now.
What's that?
I said you can get a RTX 3080 Ti for like $1,200 now.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you can try and shoot for a regular 3080 12 gigabyte, try and shoot for that instead of the Ti, because the your performance difference between the two is not much, and it's not worth the extra money. The 3080 Ti is way overpriced, in my opinion. Try and find a 30 gig. No, there's a 3080 non-Ti version that's 12 gig. Because when the 3080 launched, it had 10 gigabytes. Then they made a 12 gigabyte base 3080 version, and then they also made the 3080 Ti 12 gigabyte. Try and find a 12 gigabyte 3080, or even a 10 gigabyte 3080. That'll be even cheaper. But
I'll have to look to see what the rendering difference is between those two, if there's a big difference or not.
Yeah. If you're looking at if you're looking at productivity, you might want to consider maybe a 3090, because that's got 24 gigabytes of VRAM. So that's so that's a lot more expensive though. So
right.
But anyway, oh shoot, did I not update these from last time? The last time I did weird news, did I tell you about the man who masturbated so hard he tore a lung?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I thought I got more new weird. Okay, I'm sorry, I don't have any new weird news.
Oh, okay.
But I do have, and this isn't really weird news, but this made me laugh so fucking hard last night, I almost fucking died. So I think in order for you to hear this, I got to turn off my noise canceling here. So give me a second.
Oh, the fart thing?
Yeah, we've heard it.
Yeah, I watched that.
Well,
yeah,
the audience hasn't heard it, so here's a noise suppression. Okay, there we go. So let me, because this shit's just fucking hilarious. So just a little background story. This apparently this musician recorded a fart that he made, and he realized there was something interesting about it. And I'm gonna
he made a fart.
Yes, and when he played it back slowly, he realized that it is a major seventh arpeggio in the key of B flat with a trill at the end. So I'm going to play it for you, and then he also plays that same those same notes on a flute to give a comparison. And then he then he says that he literally pulled this arrangement out of his ass, and he plays an arrangement with the fart and the flute together, which ended up being absolutely hilarious. Did you hear that?
No. That I did.
Did you hear that?
Like a part of it?
Oh. What?
It's coming in after, whenever you say, "Did you hear that yet?" There's nothing, and then the sound happens after that.
Let me turn off the noise reduction, echo cancellation. Let's see if that all.
T minus 5 minutes. Capcom go.
What the fuck is going on right now?
I don't know.
You not hearing any of that?
Nah, it's a fail.
I turned the noise cancellation off and shit.
Yeah, well, this one's just gonna have to be up to the imaginations of the audience.
Well, maybe I can post the video. Maybe I can post the link in the chat, and then Jake can edit it in.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. But you guys saw it, so it was pretty.
But yeah, I'll do that.
But you guys saw that, dude. When I freaking listened to that shit last night,
Erase all of this, Levy, and I will rip the audio for that and put it in the.
Levy, why don't you just leave the fart over the microphone quick?
All right, so toy news, I guess. Yeah, since we're all done with
Time to go on to toy news, or as I like to call it, the section to talk about robots that neither of you guys give a fuck about anymore. Let's start with.
I don't collect Transformers.
Let's start with. Actually, this one is one that we saw before, but they showed off a little bit more of it. That first link is to X-Transbot's version of Nightbeat, the Junior Headmaster Nightbeat. And I'm going to include a second link for his mold mate, which is Minerva. So the only interesting part about this is that they're finally like venturing into fans hobby territory.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be kind of interesting to see how these fare. But I'll be honest with you, I like them both better than the fans hobby versions. The only thing I like about the fans hobby Minerva a little better is that she's built more like a female, you know what I mean? Like she's a little like skinnier and like not skinnier, but like, you know, just she's a little more feminine looking, which is how she kind of looks in the cartoon. And they do a little bit of that with their mold. X-Transbots does, not quite as much, but I didn't like how Nightbeat was built the same way as Minerva, like when Fans Hobby did him. Like they thickened him up a tiny little bit, but he was still a little, I don't know, the X-Transbots one looks a little better to me. And they're including the detective head. I don't know if you saw that in that one pic. No jacket though. Just gonna get the head. So file that in the X-Transbots NFT category. And
no, actually, I like the way these look.
Yeah, they
and I've always been a big fan of the Porsche 959. But yeah, I think these look good. I mean, I'm not gonna get them, but you know,
XTB usually does a pretty good job on Carbots so far.
The renders, yeah, they look nice.
Now this Minerva. This looks a lot more masculine. Is this actually supposed to be a female?
Yeah, if you look at the two of them side by side, like especially in the forearms, you can see that they're like the forearms and like the upper legs and shit like that, or they're slimmed down a little bit on the Minerva version.
Okay.
And compared to I actually have. I did a pic side by side, and you could see like how different they are. Like it's pretty crazy. Yeah. But the all right, here we go. Oops.
I saw that you said that the Fans Hobby one wasn't actually accurate to the
no, it's not
cartoon model.
Yeah, the if you look at the one that I put in there.
Oh yeah, the front end of the car is the legs.
Right. And like on the Fans Hobby one, the wheels are on the shoulders, and on the XTB they're on the forearms. Yeah. Like the XTB one is a lot more accurate to the cartoon model, but I do like I kind of dig the way that the Fans Hobby one's built. Did I say Fans Hobby one? I meant the X-Transbots one is more cartoon accurate, but I just like how the Fans Hobby one's kind of built more like a female, you know what I mean? Like it just
it's more feminine.
Yeah. The only and honestly I would probably end up keeping it, but like that mold was a lot better after that. Like when they reused it to do Nightbeat, and then they kind of retooled it a little bit to do like Siren and what was the other one, Ghost Shooter. Like it got a lot better. My Minerva copy, and I've heard this from a lot of people, like there's things that don't completely properly tab in the right way, and like, so I don't know. I'm torn on that one. The Nightbeat one, I'm definitely getting the XTB one, but the Minerva, I'm kind of torn on that. But yeah. So let's see what else we got. So they also showed off Fans Hobby. Showed off some pictures of the robot mode of Dickbird, Double Dealer, or Double Clouder, depending on which version you're following. Mm-hmm. The one thing that's relevant to this show, I still haven't seen a configuration where the missile in bird mode can go on the bottom, which would be a bummer.
Yeah.
Like, I hope there's a way to like redo it, or
who's doing this?
This is Fans Hobby.
Oh, okay. And that Black Optimus Prime thing, is that from their
Power Baser?
Power Baser, okay.
Yep. That's the Nemesis Power Baser or whatever the hell they call them. Yeah, so he's a big boy, because that Power Baser core robot is probably right around the same height as MP10, like that MP10 height. So this dude in the Double Dealer is going to be a little bit bigger, but yeah, it looks good, man.
Yeah. We need a Dickbird.
I totally agree. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's one that's going to get a couple more sales out of our group than would normally be, just for for like the historical meaning of Dickbird. Like it would be Spinster and Dickbird would be like two characters that people would buy that they probably normally wouldn't buy, except that they're both legendary characters. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And Fans Hobby also showed off. I'm gonna put two links in here. The first link is a Dreadwind or Buster or Hydra. I can't remember which one he is in Japan, but Dreadwind, Power Master. The first link is two pictures of the jet. Second link that I'm posting right now is pictures to the robot mode. Both look really good. The robot mode, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm glad they're doing the character, and I think he looks really good from certain angles, but there's some things that kind of bug me about this thing a little bit. And I'm maybe able to chalk it up to mistransformation, but like let me just take a picture or take a screenshot of this one picture and put it in the chat. The back is a mess. And like the G1 toy was kind of a mess in the back too, but I don't know, man. That just kind of looks,
that waist is really low.
It doesn't look transformed right. Like it just looks like all that shit's just kind of folded back there, or nothing tabs in, or I don't know. It's just kind of weird. You think the proportions are a little weird, right?
Yeah, the waist looks really low.
Yeah,
like he's got a long torso,
but you just don't know if that's right or not.
Yeah,
because it looks like there's still some room for it to pop down a little bit further. I don't know if that would help out at all. But like overall, it looks good. But the feet bother me, dude. Is that weird? Like look at especially some of the action poses. Like there is no rocker, or very little of a rocker. Yeah. But from my experience with Fans Hobby, it's like there's something. Like I thought the God Bomber had no ankle articulation either, but there was like a little button that you had to hit, and it like popped the ankle down an extra, half a centimeter, and it gave it all kinds of range. So I'm hoping that there's something there that they got wrong. But according to these pictures, there's not much range there, which is a little bothersome. What else do I got here? I got some pictures of the Vectron Labs. That next link that I just popped in there, that's the Vectron Labs scrapper in alt mode. I don't know if you guys saw that yet.
Okay.
Did we see
this? This is that new Big Devi, right?
Yeah.
Did we see this last time? Or is this the new pictures?
The alt mode? Yeah. No, I didn't see the alt mode.
Oh, just the combined mode.
Renders of the alt mode, maybe. But
the foot.
Yeah, well, yeah, those were renders too, as far as I can remember. The only like actual physical pictures we saw was robot mode.
Gotcha.
Yeah. All right. Nobody has an opinion on that one.
It's plain. It's very plain.
It is plain. It's very plain.
Oh yeah.
This is definitely a case of when cartoon accuracy goes too fucking far.
Well, yeah. I don't know. Well, because it's supposed to be such a big vehicle, right? And it's maybe just because it's grayscale. I don't know, but it just looks to me like it's an upscaled Legends almost.
Right? Yeah.
With the lack of sculpted detail on it, it looks like an upscaled Legend. Because when I looked at the photos originally, I thought it's like, is this a Legend scale?
The one picture he's shown with I'm pretty sure that's Toy World Hook, and he's big compared to Toy World Hook. But when you see it in comparison, but when you see the ones, the pictures on his own, I could definitely see what you're seeing. The upscaled, like, kind of Legends look. Yeah, it's wild, man. I don't know.
There we go. You got any other Transformers news?
I got one more. And we already kind of knew about this shit, but that Like Toys that's doing all them crazy ass upgrade kits that we saw a couple of episodes ago, they are doing a 4-foot Metroplex.
Oh, yeah, Metroplex. Yeah, I saw this. This actually looks cool.
This looks amazing. This looks fucking amazing. And so a lot of people are a little concerned about going in on such a. Okay, well, let me preface this by saying they said that they're going to try to keep this thing south of $1,000, and he's going to be 48 inches tall, probably even up to the head.
How tall is Fans Toy Sport Max?
About, I think 48. I think that's why they're kind of doing it to scale with him. And a lot of people,
a 4-foot tall Transformer.
Yeah, right. It's so wild, man. I heard a lot of
people, a small child.
It is. I heard a bunch of people, or saw, I should say, a bunch of people saying that they were a little apprehensive because it was like a new company, and they were a little worried about, them taking on such like a big project. But I don't know, man. I think I kind of got some faith because they like everything that we saw out of them. Those 3D prints that they did, I mean, those were 3D prints, and they look solid as hell. Like when people were manipulating them and putting them together.
Yeah.
And this one's going to be, supposedly, is going to go to mass production. And I talked to the dude. I talked to the guy that is doing them, and he said that they're going to in order to make it happen, they're going to need to get 500 pre-orders. And I think they're going to get 500 pre-orders easily, even though it's a huge. Crazy expensive project. I feel like they're going to get 500 easy.
People love these big fucking bots, man. Or these big fucking toys in general. I mean, look at how successful the Sentinel was. Yeah. The campaign for Sentinel. I mean, Unicron just kind of squeaked by, right?
No, Unicron destroyed. Unicron looked like it was going to sneak by, and then in the last week it went crazy.
Okay.
Like it was almost like people were waiting to see if it was going to get funded, and then once it did get funded, everybody went nuts, and the number jumped thousands.
In comparison, though, the Sentinel was like twice.
I think the Sentinel went crazy because for one, it was like a little bit cheaper, obviously, but two, I think there was a number of people out there that took the true building thing to the next level.
Do you still have yours, by the way?
I do. I still have mine. Yeah, I got all three. I did not open the other two yet, but I do, and I'm not sure if I'm going to or not. So I'm just kind of letting them sit for the moment.
Why shouldn't I keep them?
Yeah.
You said you said people were apprehensive because of the company,
because of them
taking on such a ambitious project, right?
Yeah.
I'd be more apprehensive because you'd have to set aside space for this thing, like you would with a new baby coming.
Yeah,
it's like you got to build a whole fucking nursery for this fucking thing. It's a 4-foot tall fucking Transformer, man.
Yeah,
it's the same thing with the Fort Max. It's like, this is, you want to know where my line is? 4-foot tall robots is where my line is.
Robots is where the line is. I have a spot for these. Like you've been in my room, so no, it's over in the Bren wing. It's like where the one case. I currently have like all my accessories and everything on top of that case and all that shit. But if I clear that out, it is going to be 4 feet tall. Yeah. And I have like 51 or 52 inches from the top of that case to the ceiling. So I'm going to have so I'll be able to put if they do this and also just for, everybody that's completely sick like I am, he said that if it's successful, that they're going to do a small run of Metro Titans, which I would probably be. So, but yeah, man, it's gonna be tough because if some companies are gonna eventually do all of them, you're gonna have Metroplex, Metro Titan, Trypticon, Black Serac, Scorponok, Fort Max, and Grand Max. That's like seven robots of that size, which is that's going to be tough, but I'll figure it out.
There's actually some things on this that I do like the rounded heels on the back of the legs there. I like that. Well, because it, I think it makes it more stable, or it looks like it makes it more stable. I just like the design decision, because then that way it allows you to do the ankle rocker on the front of the foot, but then because it is such a large figure, you don't have to move as much plastic to train. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it keeps it that like the heel itself doesn't actually have to rotate, and so therefore it would be a solid piece for that for that rotational axis,
right?
For that sideways rotational axis, so that way the heel it stays in place, and that way it'll keep it stability when you're in a wider A stance.
It's like the difference between something with 4 legs and something with 3 legs. Like the thing with 3 legs is always going to be sitting as it should.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I didn't really think about it while I was looking at it, but that's a good point.
And I also like how because this thing could have been very blocky.
Yeah,
but it's got that signature curve to the calf.
Yeah,
you know? And when you look at it in its base mode, that's actually the part that folds out. It's because you know how traditionally it was the shin that would open up and fold out flat.
Mm-hmm.
This is it's actually the back of the leg that folds out flat, and then you just take the kneecap and then stick it on. It's like a little bit of parts forming, but Metroplex always parts formed.
Right.
It's just little things here that I'm picking up on that I actually like some of the design decisions that looks like they made.
Also the ribs, like the torso fill, those are actually torso fillers.
Oh, they don't actually squeeze in, because it looks like they would like squeeze in.
Nah, there's I probably have that picture somewhere, but those you can either put them on, which if I was going to get it, I'm going to have those on, or they made them removable. That way he could have that signature, like little tiny skinny waist that, the old design had, but I do like it with the fillers in.
Yeah.
Did I say they were trying to keep...
it actually does look like the shins fold out too. Yeah. So, but
yeah, man, I'm pretty psyched. He said, did I say that? I tell you they were trying to keep the price south of $1,000. Did I tell you that part? Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
The only thing that I don't know for sure, 6-gun and Scamper and Slammer. I'm not sure what's going on there. I would imagine that if they're going to be doing Metroplex, that they would find a way to, do the rest of them.
Has a third party company ever done like an actual like crowdfunded project like Kickstarter or anything?
Yeah. Make Toys did it with Sunstorm and
did they? Okay.
One of the other Seekers. And there was an MMC project, I think.
Okay.
I can't remember which character. Yeah, few and far between.
Now, I was just wondering, like, if they would have gotten into any kind of trouble with Hasbro or anybody if they were trying to do like a crowdfunding thing through like Kickstarter or GoFundMe or some shit.
Don't forget when you do that. When you do like stuff like Kickstarter, they take your make. So you have to. So if you go outside of a Kickstarter, you don't have to worry about paying a middleman.
Yeah. No, because I remember you mentioning like how they said that they need to get 500 pre-orders to get this going. So that sounds like crowdfunding project to me.
I think
are they notifying the public saying, hey, if you're pre-ordering this, if we don't get enough pre-orders, you'll get your money back? Or like, are they going to be making sure everyone's aware of that?
They haven't really gotten even to talking about pre-orders or anything. This is all the stuff that like, because I got that Halonix Maximus. I didn't get it yet, but it's being made and I'm going to be getting it. But, and the dude, Lionel, his name is, he told me to hit him up anytime to ask him about the progress or if I had any questions or this or that.
And you said this is a guy that works for Like Toys?
I don't know if he's the designer or the owner. I'm not exactly sure of the inner workings of the company necessarily. I just know that he's the contact. Like he's the one that I had to hit up to get the Halonix, and he's the dude that's been posting all these pictures of the Metroplex in the group and stuff. So,
and are we allowed to be talking about this right now? Or
yeah. Oh,
okay,
yeah.
I just wanted to make sure.
No, he's I mean, most of the information, the only thing that he didn't post in the group that I've found out from the chat is the possibility of a Metro Titan after Metroplex if the Metroplex is successful.
Oh, okay. So hey, we got some exclusive news here first, guys. You're the first one. Blackout and Shout.
Yeah, there you go, man. Metro Titan. You heard it, yeah, right? Yeah, I think they're gonna get 500 easy.
So if you want your Metroplex recolor, make sure you get your pre-order in.
Are they overseas? Or are they over here? Like in
when he posts stuff for sale, he posts like some third-party shit for sale, and everything says shipping out of Canada.
Oh, okay.
So
I wonder where they're gonna do their run for the whole manufacturing thing.
Yeah, I don't know. That I do not know. They did say that when they eventually do pre-orders, the first pre-orders are going to be available to anybody that's bought stuff from them before. Mm-hmm. So they must be pretty confident in getting the number that they're going to get if they're going to start out with those people being able to pre-order first and then putting it out to the rest of the general public.
Yeah, I hope they're going to have some sort of cover, like on this battle station mode.
Yeah,
this mobile platform mode. See these big giant holes in the front on the top of the legs here. See what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I hope they're gonna have a cover for that because that's kind of ugly. I'm not sure what is that supposed to be like. Yeah, like what is that?
I gotta look up. I'm gonna look up the G1 Metroplex to see what he looked like. But I just remember that being kind of smooth because it's a ramp.
Yeah, it was all flat as I recall.
Well, that's something that could be brought to your attention because I did notice like a lot. Like he was he was putting up choices, like the face sculpt, and he had a couple different choices, and was kind of asking the general public what they were. Yeah, when I'm looking at the G1 Metroplex, and it's just like a flat, smooth ramp. So yeah, I'm kind of curious if there's going to be some sort of filler parts in there too.
Yeah, I'm wondering why that's even there in the first place. So like I can't even see the joint where like that all folds back up into his leg. Like I can see like where that bottom part becomes the calf, like I said. But do you see where like that folds back up to like where it folds up to become his shin? Or is that his feet?
Yeah, you know what? That might be. Let me look at this. Wait, let me look at him in robot mode again.
No, it's not his feet.
Okay.
No, it's definitely his shin.
Is it?
Yeah, because you can tell by the cut on the outer part of the shin. See how like it's inset a little bit in the middle and it comes back out again as you go down the leg on the outside.
Yeah.
When you go look at it, you can see that cut from the side. So that's definitely the shin. But I don't see a folding joint for it to fold back up into the leg.
That's definitely the feet, Levy. And I'll tell you why. So you got the two like ports that you said were like parts forming that would eventually end up being on the knee.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Wait, let me look at the robot again. Yeah, it looks to me like that bottom half, the front. You see how the very front of the battle station mode. There's the ramp, the curved part, like you said, and that is the back, like the calf, and then there's that front part. It looks like that folds. The top part of that folds back up towards the knee, and then the back part of it folds on the back up towards the knee, and then that would leave that shit that you see where those holes are that you said, where there should be some sort of like cover, like that definitely turns into the feet.
I don't know, because this whole section here looks like it's the front of the shin. If you look at it from the side here, it's got the same sculpted detail as the.
Yeah, you're right.
The shin on the side here, but like and then like all that big red stripe on the side of the leg, that's all covered on the the second half of it here. See how it's all it's got that like thin red plastic line around the edge of it. Yeah. It looks like that folds up and covers it, like you know what I mean. So I'm just not seeing where like a joint where this all folds up. Just basically how the original transformation was. Remember?
Right.
I just don't see a folding joint here to see how that folds up. I mean, maybe this is a 3D render though, right? It's not.
It is.
Actual,
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it all goes together. But all that being said, man, it looks really good. It looks really good. That's all I got.
See here. I know Mafex teased one of their next releases. It's actually going to be Black Noir from The Boys. They showed off just a quick picture of his shoulder and holding a stuffed bear. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, so they teased Black Noir. I don't think I saw what their second, because they usually announce 2 figures per month. So I didn't see anything about a second figure being announced, or teased or anything like that. So, but that's it for that. I didn't see any official product or promotional photos at all, other than this teaser. Marvel Legends showed off a bunch of new shit. I guess there's a Mojo World box set that just went up for pre-order earlier this week, right?
All that. Yep.
Is it Mojo?
Yep, grab that. Longshot, Dazzler.
Longshot and Dazzler, and that X-Baby Wolverine or whatever it is.
Yep.
So you got that? How much was it?
130, I think it was.
Okay. Are you okay with that price?
Yeah, I'm good with it because Mojo is like, it's a pretty big, like, kind of build a figure. So that's like 50. And then I always wanted a long shot. So
Yeah.
I really wish they would have included a spiral instead of the fucking chibi or baby Wolverine or whatever. But that would have been perfect.
That Wolverine isn't even really articulated, is it?
No, it looks like it's just like a little.
That's more of an accessory than an actual figure.
Yeah, but like I said, like, Mojo's pretty big, and then the 2 figures. So it's like, probably like $100, and then you're paying $30 for the, exclusive whatever crap that they're doing, and the box, the whole box set type of thing, kind of like what they did with the Hellfire Club, like that.
Okay. Yeah. But that Hellfire Club came with what, like 4 or 5 figures?
1, 2, 4 figures, I think it was.
4 figures?
I have to look it back up again.
Okay. Do you remember how much that was?
I think it was around the same price.
Was it?
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm finding that $132 price tag a little hard to swallow.
Well, I mean, things have gone up in price. Legends are now $26, not $20. So
yeah.
There is that.
I mean, the Mojo looks cool.
It does. Let's see. The Fire one was, and that one was a Hasbro Pulse member exclusive. That was, you're right, Levy. It was 5 figures, or was it? Let me see. No, 4 with an extra. Right. So it was only 4 figures, and it was retail $80. That was 2 years ago.
Okay.
But it's going for about $200 now.
What's this TV remote control box do? Because you got the TV box, but then you got this Mojo World guide. What are all these things?
It's just part of the whole Mojo World thing.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like are these packages for like accessories, or like is there other stuff that comes in this set, or is it just the figures?
It's probably just the figures,
and
I'm assuming,
and like the parts for the figures, like because okay, so
I was saying, what Mojo World is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
No, I was just wondering if that like remote control was like actually like a packaging box and it had some other stuff inside of it.
I don't know. Maybe it probably is just a piece of fucking cardboard. Really, I don't give 2 shits about it. I just care about fucking the figures. Yeah, that's my 80s. That Dazzler and that Longshot.
Yeah. Okay.
I said all we need now is just a spiral.
Yeah, I would like to see them do another spiral. They haven't done a good spiral, or actually they haven't done spiral since Toy Biz.
Right.
So.
Or Mojo.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about those bots that you know what? Let's finish up the Marvel Legends things first.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a couple more Marvel Legends stuff because they announced
Sharon Carter. And then there was a Fire Lord, which I also picked up to accompany my Galactus.
The Japanese Spider-Man.
Right. There was that too.
Yeah. Retro collection War Machine. I'm not sure what the difference is with that between the
black and white
War Machine that they. Yeah. Okay.
The black and white
Oh,
colors.
is that from the Iron Man animated series figures?
Yeah.
It's like a retro card for that. Okay, I see. I gotcha. Actually, I think the most interesting one is that Japanese Toei TV series Spider-Man figure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too. They've been talking about that for a while.
Yeah, and it's actually looks like its own unique sculpt. Because you can see like sculpted fold lines in the costume or in the legs and whatnot, and so it definitely looks like its own unique sculpt. The look like the boots are unique and whatnot. They're definitely not like anything reused from a previous Spider-Man figure. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's cool. I mean, none of this shit is shit I'm gonna buy, but
Longshot's my favorite X-Men. That's he's my favorite character, so definitely got to pick him up. The whole Mojo Dazzler thing, that's like just icing on the cake for me.
Yeah, if that set was a little bit cheaper, I might be tempted to get it. But I'm for me, I think $132 is a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
So I don't need Mojo that bad, you know. So, but for you know,
right.
for someone like you, like that's like gonna be a centerpiece of your collection. You know, definitely. I say go for it.
I mean, he's no sugar man, but you know.
Yeah. That's such a great figure. Oh my god. Yeah, and it sucks because like that second wave of Age of Apocalypse stuff came out, and I didn't get any of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to, but I just because I got that Age of Apocalypse Mafex Magneto,
right?
And I definitely want to get that Rogue. It's just like I want to get those figures, but like I don't need to spend that money on them.
Right?
I don't need to have them. I might pick up the Rogue just to pair her up with my Mafex Magneto. And I'd like to get the Sabretooth because I got the Wild Child. But then I also want to get the Cyclops because I got, the Wolverine and Phoenix.
You might as well get them all then, I guess.
Yeah. I don't know. And I don't think they're hard to get right now. So, but I don't know. So what else were we going to talk? Oh, those Gundam turtles that Josh posted in here.
Yeah. They're by the Heat Boys official.
Did we see these before?
Yeah, I saw them before.
Sort of remember seeing them. Yeah, they've been around for.
I saw them a while ago.
A little bit.
Okay.
Maybe not all four of them, but I definitely at least saw one that was showing off like the idea of what they were doing.
Did I make the? Oh, I'm sorry, Mike.
I'm not falling for that shit.
They
were cool looking and everything, but I'm not falling for it.
Did I make the comparison to Gundam Wing with these things? I seem to remember doing that.
They are mechs. I mean, there's little turtles in them.
No, I know, but these definitely look like they have references to actual Endless Waltz, Gundam Wing Endless Waltz Gundams. Like Donatello looks a little like the Sandrock because he had that cloak and shit.
I see what you're saying. Maybe
Raphael looks a little like the Dragon Gundam because he's got the big giant arm extension things. They don't look like they extend like the Shenlong Gundam, but it definitely looks reminiscent of it, and then or at least inspired by. And then Michelangelo's clearly the heavy arms custom, and he's got the same rocket pods on the legs, the same double barrel Gatling gun. Except this one, instead of having two of those, he looks like he's got two big rockets on the other arm there, and he's got the rocket pods here and here. She just doesn't have the ones that open on the chest, it looks like. So, but yeah, that's definitely heavy arms custom. And Michelangelo or Leonardo just looks like your standard wing Gundam without the wings.
Right, the shield sword.
Yeah,
I'm sure that's where they're inspired from. I don't remember if this was like a canon thing in like a comic or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't ring any bells in my brain.
Well, I think we saw last time we saw these. They were just design
drawings
and stuff. Yeah. So it looks like these are either 3D renders or gray prototypes.
Probably.
Well, it says
both.
Die-cast mecha ninjas have taken a year and a half to develop and are now in the mold making stage. Here are the 3D gray molds. So that means that these are actual prototypes.
Cool. I wonder how big they're going to be and how expensive they're going to be.
You think Tyler is gonna like these? Well, I'm sure he liked them. Do you think he might be into getting them? Or?
I thought about that as well when I saw those. I'm like, it's like a turtle and a Gundam all, combined.
Yeah.
I thought,
Was he into the TMNT? I can't remember.
Oh yeah. He's
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he has a.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah, this Raphael actually does look pretty cool. He's cut like almost like a football helmet. He looks like a linebacker type dude. The big giant arms are cool. There's the Wolverine claws and shit. That looks cool. And I definitely like the Michelangelo because the Heavy Arms Custom was my favorite Gundam from Gundam Wing Endless Waltz.
I like the Donatello because I'm a sucker for a robot and a cloak. Makes no goddamn sense, but it looks cool as hell.
Does anybody have any other toy news?
There was that Queen Studios Gandalf pre-order was announced. The 1/6 scale for $415.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah,
that's a good looking figure. Though.
It is. It's like really well done. They did a Joker too before that looks really good too. A Heath Ledger Joker. But they were like, they're the company that make all those like 1/4 busts or the 1/2 bust that like they look like the real person. Like I think the popular one was the Wonder Woman that was floating around that looked just like fucking what's her name? Actress?
Gal Gadot.
That's it, Gal Gadot. Looked just like so I can see where they're getting this whole, design, accuracy from. But yeah, that's 15's a little hard to swallow for one figure. But
that is a lot.
Hot Toys they're getting up there. They're like $280 now. So for like a regular character, let alone, like an Iron Man.
Getting up there too.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah,
they're like what?
The TV leagues are good.
240?
No, they're not. Well, it depends on the figure, but most of them aren't up that high, but they are creeping up.
Are you still getting all those Egyptian gods?
You know what? I kind of backed off from that.
Did you?
Yeah. So they're getting expensive, and
right.
So I do kind of want to get that Bastet, and I know that released. I actually canceled the pre-order on that, I think. But I do kind of want to pick it up at some point.
I think they just did they just show a set? I think maybe or something else.
Seth.
Oh, Seth. That's right. It was a Seth. That's right.
Yeah. There's another one that's it's not by TB League. It's actually featured under the TB League section in Big Bad Toy Store, but it's actually by another company, I think. And it's a licensed figure, so it's quite a bit more expensive, but she looks really fucking cool. Can't remember what it's called. Arpania.
Yeah, man, collecting 1/6 scale, it gets expensive.
Yeah, it does. I don't know how some people do it, because like they have like shells and shells and shells of 1/6 scale figures, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you think about it this way, right? Let's say that's all you collected. You don't have to worry about any of the money that you spent on Legends. You don't have to worry any money you spent on Mezco. You don't have to worry money you spent on Transformers.
Yeah.
All the Mayfax, all that stuff. It's all goes right to your, one toy or whatever every couple months. So, kind of equals out. Unless you're buying 4-foot fucking Transformers every. So.
I posted the BBTS link in there. That's a cool looking figure. I would really love to get that one. It's by Pop Toys, but they use the TB League body. But geez, fucking awesome.
Excellent use of skeleton hands.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, did you show Vanessa that thing I sent you?
You know what? I didn't, but I'm gonna forward this shit over to her right now. I forgot to. But I'm doing it right now. Price?
Yeah. Well, it's licensed. It's licensed from some sort of from something, I think.
Witch Hunter.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I don't know, unless it's. Maybe it's not licensed. Maybe Pop Toys is just charging through the nose for it. They also made a white version too, which also looks equally nice. But I think it has slightly different accessories. Let me see if I can get that one's actually sold out on BBTS, but this is the white one. I was originally toying with the idea of ordering both of these.
I like the first one better.
Yeah. No, I definitely like this one.
There's a Witch Hunter manga, but that's not that. Oh,
okay.
I don't think. I don't see any characters in here. What's the character's name?
Bloody Shaman Aphaia. APHAIA.
No, this is different. Witch Hunter. Anywho.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So that's it for toy news then.
I don't know, host. Are we done?
Well, I don't know. Are you guys done? Are you guys done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Word. Let's go to Q&A.
All right. Let's see here. We got 2 questions. All right. So the first question comes from our good friend Josh Lawrence. Thanks for filling in last week, Josh. He did fill in last week, right?
He did. Him and
here. Thanks for filling in last time, Josh. Appreciate it. He says, "Are you guys ever going to go back to recording in person?" We were planning on doing it actually a couple of weeks ago, but scheduling conflicts got in the way.
Right.
So, we will eventually
I gotta get my booster shot too before we get together. I think I gotta do that this week.
Yeah. So, but yes, we have been planning on it. It just got delayed a little bit, so definitely we'll be doing it, and we'll be switching it on and off. And I know about it ahead of time. So, I have the schedule. So, yeah. But when we do, you'll be the first to know, Josh. We'll be sure to let you know. So, thanks for the question. The next question comes from Jonathan Oxton, and he says, "Hey guys, what's up? I'm keeping my streak going. Speaking of keeping a streak, what if Thanos was about to snap your entire collection of Transformers out of existence except one? Which one do you save? Apply the same scenario to a video game. Which single game do you save? And no cheating by counting on a friend having their collection. Thanos will be blipping those out of existence as well. Ha ha ha. Thanks for entertaining my goofy questions." So, this is actually a question we've answered before. Not necessarily framed under, around the Thanos snap thing, but
that's probably before Jonathan was listening, because I think he's a little newer.
Mm-hmm.
But
plus there are new things have come out since then.
Mm-hmm.
So your answer may have changed.
Yeah, nah. I would think that, like, my mind went right back to the same thing that it always goes back to, is like the first Transformer I ever owned, which is that Skywarp.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's kind of like, you think about the whole thing going away. Like, if the house is on fire and I can only save one, I'm probably just letting the whole fucking thing burn. Because, you know what I mean, dude? What's the use of, like,
Is it insurance?
Yeah, 5, 5, you're going to lose, 1,000 figures. I don't even know how many figures I got, but, like, 600, 700 figures or whatever. Like, I'm like, keep one of them. You know what I mean? Nah, you know what? Thanos, just take them all. Fuck it.
Yeah. You just see the house, the fire, smoke's coming, Mike comes busting out the door with this 4-foot fucking Metroplex under his arm.
Yeah. Nah,
cradling it like a baby.
Yeah. CPR.
That wouldn't be anywhere near the first thing I grabbed, though. If I'm looking at it that way, there's a lot more valuable shit down there way more valuable shit than that Metroplex, and smaller and easier to carry, I might add. Video games, though, video game, like, I'd be torn between one of the Mortal Kombats and the latest Mario Kart, probably. And I'd probably go the latest Mario Kart, because nobody around here wants to play me in Mortal Kombat. So it's like, at least, Mario Kart, I could still play Jefferson or whoever, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not much of a gamer. I'm probably not the greatest person to answer that question.
I don't know. What about you, Jed?
Well, the video games one, that's easy. That would be Half-Life Alyx for the win. That would yeah, that was one of those games that just keeps on giving. That's a good one. From the like the latest stuff that I've played, I would say like The Last of Us, but it's like one of those games where like The Last of Us, you play it and you kind of play through it and you're like, the replay value isn't that great. But with half like Alex, you get new maps and you can download new boards and it's all that like the fan created stuff too, and it's really cool. You can make your own. It has its own design, studio type of thing. Kind of like it harkens back to the old days of who did that first? Did Quake do that first, or was that who did that design level stuff first? I think it was Quake, wasn't it?
Doom.
Did
Doom had a level editor?
Did it have a level editor for? Okay, I thought maybe it might have been.
Or at least Doom 2 did.
Okay, I thought it was post floppy games had that, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm not quite sure what I would fucking grab on my way, or I wouldn't know.
Does it have to be a Transformer? Because we have collections.
He did say Transformers, didn't he?
Yeah, but we do have other stuff in our collections other than Transformers.
True, but he asked Transformers, so I would probably say, man, I don't know. That's a tough one. I'd probably have to say like maybe that Fans Toys Snarl, or actually any of that Deformation Space Starscream. That was really good too. So I don't know, one of those two. How about you, Levy?
Well, as far as Transformers goes, it's my G1 Bloated Parts Grey Roller Optimus Prime. That's my most prized transforming robot in my collection. As far as games go, man, I don't know. I wouldn't want to get something really all that linear because it would be fun for a while and that's it. But then again, there's other linear games that I really can just pick up and play at any time, like Metal Gear Solid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Love those games. I can't get enough of them. But I want something like more sandbox, I think.
By the way, did you see the Uncharted movie?
Yes.
Did you see like their opening logo thing where it had all the characters from their games? Okay, just checking.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was cool. It was cool. That movie was all right.
I thought
it wasn't great.
It sucked. I don't like that movie at all.
Nah, it was all right. I didn't like Mark. I
did. It's true. I enjoyed watching Jared Leto half shirtless more so than Nathan Drake. So
I actually like Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I didn't like.
I did not like Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. I didn't like that movie either.
No, I didn't like Mark Wahlberg as Sully. I didn't like him at all. But no, I actually like Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. But as far as video games go, I don't know. Probably either Metal Gear Solid or Symphony of the Night, I guess, because I love those games so much.
The first Metal Gear?
Metal Gear Solid.
Okay. The first PlayStation Metal Gear?
The one on PlayStation 1, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was a really good game.
Yeah.
And then Metal Gear Solid 2 was on the PlayStation 2, right?
Yep.
Yeah. That was a weird game.
Snake Eater was another great game.
That was a good game too.
Yeah, I like that one better than Metal Gear Solid 2, actually.
Oh my goodness. Blasphemy. Why? Because there was no Raiden in it?
No. Raiden didn't bother me. I just liked Metal Gear Solid 3 better. I thought it had a better story.
Yeah.
No. Raiden, and playing Raiden through like 75% of the game didn't bother me. I didn't care about that. That didn't bother me. But
it bothered me when I was back then when I first played it. But going back to it, I was like, all right, this isn't that bad.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's any other games that have moved me like those two since. No, I don't think so. Those are probably two of my favorite games of all time. So either one of those two. I can't really choose between the two. So Thanos can take one or the other, and I'll be happy with the other one. So, but yeah. So thanks for the question, Jonathan. That's it for Q&A. Holy shit, we're finishing before 12.
Yeah, man. How about that?
Good. Good.
I was joking with Nate Levy last week or 2 weeks ago when him and Josh filled in, and I was like thinking, well, Levy's not here. We get a guest star, and we're starting, I think, gonna be starting relatively on time, and like there's not a whole lot to go over, so like, you know, maybe get done a little bit early and, you know, hang out with Vanessa before she passes out and all that shit, and, you know, get some booty or whatever. And then I signed on to Discord and I saw Josh and Nate, and I was like, fuck. Anybody got anything in closing before we get out of here?
I'm good.
Nope.
All right. Same. Enough's enough. We're out.